Welcome back to Shea Stadium, and welcome to the start of Game 4 of this National League Championship Series between the St. Louis Cardinals and the New York Mets. And now welcome to our broadcast booth, everyone. I'm Joe Bach, along with my partners Tim McCarver and Bob Brenly. We'll get to them in a minute. First up, we talk about the pitching matchup. For the New York Mets, Bobby Jones coming off the start of his major league career. He can't get any better than a one-hit shutout, which he did in the clincher Game 4 against the San Francisco Giants. On the other side, Darryl Kyle was the starter in Game 1 of this LCS. Here he is with 3 days of rest coming back in Game 4 at Shea. And I welcome in my partner, Tim McCarver. Tim, 3 days rest. These days, the flags go up, the alarms sound, the buzzers go off. 3 days rest. Are the Cardinals bringing Kyle back too soon?
I don't think so. As a matter of fact, Joe, I've always had a tough time with the term proper rest. When you think about it, 26 of the 30 major league teams at this time of year are getting the proper rest watching the games on television. As far as Bobby Jones is concerned, he's had twice as much rest as Darryl Kyle. However, 5 of the 8 Cardinal hitters in their starting lineup tonight, Edmonds, Clark, Vigna, Drew, and Langford, look what they've done against the right-handers of the Mets in this series, as compared to what they've done against the left-handed pitchers of the Mets.
Well, if these guys can get on, the plan for the Cardinals tonight is run. And for that, we take you down to Bob Brenly, who's down by the field. Bob?
Thank you very much, Joe. Nobody's going to confuse this year's Cardinals teams with the Gas House Gang or even those track teams that Whitey Herzog had back in the 80s. But I'm really surprised the Cardinals have not attempted to run more. Edgar Renteria tied an NLCS record with 3 stolen bases in Game 2, but that's pretty much been it as far as being aggressive on the base pass. Look for that trend to change tonight. With the combination of Bobby Jones on the mound and Mike Piazza behind the plate, opponents were successful 21 out of 24 attempts on the season. Tony La Russa told us he's really going to push it if he gets runners on base tonight, so we'll keep an eye on that. Back to you, Joe.
All right, Bob, thank you. Well, folks, stay tuned to Sunday night baseball at Shea Stadium, Game 4 of the National League Championship Series, and it comes your way next on Fox.
Howie, you're the expert on teamwork, right?
Yeah?
Bet you don't know the new place in your neighborhood to learn how to team up all these things through the internet.
Might that be the new Microsoft Internet Center at Radio Shack?
How'd you know?
Let our Microsoft Internet specialist show you a live demonstration of Easy MSN, and just for stopping by, get a free QCAT scanner for instant internet navigation. Radio Shack.
So, what makes us work like a team, Howie?
Patience, Terry. Infinite patience.
Company that believes knowledge is critical in managing risk? Without question, the St. Paul.
One visual, and you have the lead on the right. You got the lead on the right. Sights on. Left 9 now. Coming home. You got the airspeed on me. Visual. Oh, there you are. Darn, I was hoping you wouldn't see me. Yeah, it's my turn to gun track. Let's do that one again. Okay.
Just in case you didn't catch the number the first time.
Wax on, wax off. Nice doggy. Ruff, ruff. Ding, 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 ding. Hat up a tree. Ding, ding. False alarm.
He's out there with tasty Subway Select on 3 new gourmet breads that are giving Subway sandwiches a delicious new taste, like fresh-baked Parmesan oregano and hearty Italian with cornmeal. Sure, he's just a shadow, but he's a shadow on a mission. Subway, eat fresh.
The National League Championship Series on Fox is brought to you by Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers. By the St. Paul Companies, property and liability insurance for business. Without question, the St. Paul. By America's Air Force, no one comes close. And by Subway, showing the world how great a fresh sandwich can taste. Subway, eat fresh.
Well, this crowd was taken right out of the game in yesterday's Game 3, with the Cardinals coming up with 2 runs in the first inning. They're into it here early, and Bobby Jones hopes to keep it that way. He takes on this lineup for St. Louis, brought to you by Autotrader.com. Same lineup as yesterday. Under La Russa sticking with what worked. Fernando Vina leads off at second base. Edgar Renteria batting second at short. Jim Edmonds hitting third. Will Clark cleans up. Ray Langford's in left field. Fernando Tatis, his bat starting to come around. Yesterday a sac fly and a double. J.D. Drew is in right. Carlos Hernandez does the catching, and Darryl Kyle pitches and bats ninth. The defense for the Mets. Same as game 3, and it includes Todd Zeile over at first base, who in his last 114 games, including the postseason, has committed only 3 errors. Learning during the spring from Keith Hernandez, a former Cardinal and a former Met. And here's a closer look at the right-hander, 30-year-old Bobby Jones.
Joe, there have only been 7 one-hitters pitched in postseason play. 2 this year, one by Roger Clemens last night, one by Bobby Jones last Sunday. A Jeff Kent double, spoiling a no-hitter. He was picture perfect last week. His curveball has improved, crucial to his success. As a matter of fact, he uses his curve to get ahead and not to get batters out. His arm strength is much better than it was earlier in the year. He throws all the pitches, the changeup, the slider, but he must be very fine because he's not a real hard thrower. About 88 is his tops.
And the young right-hander from Fresno picks country music to get him pumped up before the first inning. One of the many representatives from San Pedro de Macorís in the Dominican Republic, Fernando Tatis, brings us the SAP announcement.
Para todas las personas que quieren ver el juego en español y que hablan español, presionen el botón de SAP y enjoy the game.
The bilingual version, and Fernando Vina will lead it off. Then Edgar Renteria batting second, Jim Edmonds hitting third. Yesterday, Vina started it with a hit. Renteria reached on an error by the third baseman Ventura on a sacrifice bunt. 2-run double by Edmonds, and the Cardinals were leading 2-0. Glad you're with us on a Sunday night. Bobby Jones hits the strike zone to Vina. Just the second postseason start. The other one we've detailed a number of times in the pregame show. Tim talking about it, the one-hitter. 1 week ago against the San Francisco Giants in Game 4. The 0-1. Hard hit and fair. Pass first. The Cardinals with a good start. Vina should have at least a double. Perez digs it out, and Vina starts it well for St. Louis. A clap, a point to the heavens, and a double here in the first inning.
The reason, as Dave Wallace, the pitching coach, looks on, the reason that the Cardinals can look outside tonight is because Bobby Jones does not throw hard enough, as Fernando Vina finds the hole between Zeile and the line. So if you look outside, the left-handers can turn on that fastball inside as Vina did, because once again, Bobby Jones' tops is about 87 or 88.
Steve Lyons talking about the importance of his control here tonight. Needs to have that pinpoint accuracy. Here's Renteria. And just like yesterday, the bunt, this time it gets the runner to third, and this time the Mets make the defensive play. The sacrifice 1-3. And with a runner at third, 1 out, the batter will be Edmonds. Here's Fernando Vina talking about the importance of Renteria getting on base in this series.
It's big. I mean, me and Edgar started off at the top of the lineup, and that's the main thing. We need to get on base for our big guys to hit us in, and you know, that's the way we score runs, and you know, we take pride in doing that and working hard and doing the right things. So fortunately, we've been able to get things done for us.
Leading through, you could hear the instructions given by a former Met, Jose Oquendo, to Fernando Vina. He's the runner at third with 1 out, and here is Jim Edmonds. Only 3 out of 14 in this LCS. That will do the job into deep right field, back at the wall, home run. And another 2-run first inning for St. Louis. A double, a bunt, a blast, and it's 2-0 Cardinals. All 4 of these National League Championship Series games have started 2-0 in the first inning. The Mets with the first 2 games in St. Louis, and now the Cardinals with these last 2 games here in New York.
It was a slider that was inside, so Vina with a double on an inside fastball, And now Jim Edmonds putting the Cardinals on top. First pitch slider. He had 42 during the season. He had a couple of home runs against the Atlanta Braves in the divisional series. And his first one in LCS play.
All right, now to state the obvious. Bobby Jones has given up more hits in this first inning than he did in 9 innings last Sunday against the Giants. And more runs. He won that game 4-0 behind offense from Ventura and Alfonso. And he'll need help here tonight. Will Clark goes up there swinging and pops it into center. Payton back to get it. 2 out.
Well, we talked about it in the opening, Joe. He is not fooling these left-handed hitters of the Cardinals. To restate a statistic that we had last night, the Cardinals and the San Francisco Giants won more games against right-handed starters than anybody in the major leagues and any teams in the major leagues. They both won 78 games against right-handed starters this year.
Now Langford with 2 out, nobody on, and 2 runs home. 5 out of 16 of the postseason dealing with Bobby Jones. Not only have the Cardinals scored more tonight than the Giants did last Sunday, but Jones had a complete game. Victory here against St. Louis, allowing only 2 runs on 4 hits, striking out 9 in his only start against St. Louis this season.
That was his only complete game of the year.
2 balls, no strikes on Langford. Base is empty with 2 out. And now 3-0. Well, as it was yesterday for the Mets, their long reliever is Glendon Rush. Rush came in and did fine work again here yesterday, but only went 2/3 of an inning, so he's available today. But if he has to come in early tonight, and we're getting way ahead of ourselves, but it's something to keep in mind, and he has an extended start here this evening. You know, common thinking around here is if this series goes 7 games, he would get the ball as a starter in Game 7 instead of Rick Reed. But he might get a call here tonight as Jones runs the count full 3-2. Rick Reed, yesterday's starter, lasting only 3 1/3. (3-2) to Langford. And over. And the crowd something to cheer about before the end of the first half inning. A double by Pena, a bunt by Renteria, and that from Edmonds. Darryl Kyle to the hill after 1/2 inning, 2-0 St. Louis.
Introducing the most powerful Duracell Ultra ever. With new M3 technology, it's the most powerful alkaline battery in the world.
Now for the first time ever, Toy Story and Toy Story 2. 2 DVDs at one special low price.
Look at us! We're a complete set!
It's a Toy Story 2-pack, coming this Tuesday on DVD.
If you don't have one, get one.
Finally, this cold season, for all you stuffy nose snifflers, for all you scratchy sore throat sufferers, here's a great new way to break up your cold. Introducing 2 new flavors from Alka-Seltzer Plus, Orange Zest and Cherry Burst. The only cold medicine with effervescent power to quickly break up your worst cold symptoms. So you can get on with life. Alka-Seltzer Plus, Orange Zest and Cherry Burst. 2 great new ways to break up your cold.
Commuting, $82 every month. Health Club, $54 every month. Insurance, $62 every month. Trading a checkbook for a storybook, priceless. Use MasterCard instead of checks to pay monthly bills automatically. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Go to MasterCard.com.
Get the power of 3, the Intel Pentium 3 processor.
Fox Tuesday, Hyde's long-lost father returns.
You got your mom's hair and her sideburns.
How do you say, I've missed you? feel the love, and then some. All new That 70s Show, 8/7 Central, Fox Tuesday.
Well, a good start for St. Louis. Now New York will try to answer 2-0. Bottom of the first, and the lineup for the Mets brought to you by AutoPrinter.com. Timo Perez will lead off in right field. Edgardo Alfonso, he's hit 9 straight postseason games, batting second. Mike Piazza hits third. Robin Ventura cleans up. Then Todd Zeal, Benny Akbayani, who's hitting all 7 this postseason. Jay Payton in center. Mike Bordick, the shortstop, and Bobby Jones pitches and bats ninth. Here's Perez leading it off against Darryl Kyle. And the Cardinals, Dave Duncan in particular, will track the early work of Darryl Kyle, who's coming back early with this work on 3 days rest. Breaking ball, and it's 1-1. The numbers during the postseason for Darryl Kyle: a 20-game winner for the first time in his big league career during the regular season, 20-9. Perez shoots it into right center field. Long run for Edmonds, won't get there. One hop, ground rule double. Here come the Mets.
A fastball over the middle of the plate. And Perez turns on it. We have mentioned during this series that he had no home runs over the fence this year. He did have one inside the Parker. And I think the Cardinals got a break there. And that ball not bounced out of the ballpark. Probably a triple instead of a double.
And now with a runner at second and nobody out, here is Edgardo Alfonso. Great numbers during this postseason. Within those numbers, big hits for the Mets, and they need one here to get back and get on the scoreboard, and he delivers. Down the right field line into the corner. Perez will score. Drew gets it back in. Back-to-back doubles, and it's 2-1.
Valentine has said that Edgardo Alfonso is too good a hitter to hit and run. So therefore, with the runner on at second and nobody out, he's not trying to move the runner to third base. He's trying to get him in, and he does with the second consecutive double. Just a terrific hitter, and there is no consistent way to pitch him to get him out.
Double Perez, a double for Alfonso. Nobody out, and in steps Piazza. Ball one.
I think Alfonso crossed, as you look at Piazza's postseason numbers, I think Alfonso crossed the Cardinals up. Usually, Alfonso, Piazza, and Todd Zeal will take the first pitch. But Alfonso, first ball hitting, very productive at bat.
1 ball, no strikes. Now 2-0. One thing to remember about Kyle as he works on 3 days rest. This is Kyle's 4th start and only his 4th start in the last 23 days. To reel it in a little closer, and Dave Duncan will tell you that since September 29th, Kyle's last start during the regular season at San Diego, it's Kyle's 3rd start in 16 days.
That's a very good point, Joe, because if Darryl Kyle does not get through the first, second, or third inning, really no excuse. Only threw 83 pitches in that start in St. Louis.
The opposite way, well hit, Drew back over his head. Alfonso had to hold. He goes to third. He'll stop there, and it's second and third, nobody out. 3 consecutive doubles, but only 1 run so far.
That's a base running mistake by Alfonso. You don't go back to the bag to tag up. You go about a third of the way to third base. If the fielder catches the ball, then you can go back to tag up. But Alfonso went immediately back to tag up, so he only ends up at third base. Watch him. He goes back to tag. Now, by the time the ball gets over Drew's head, J.D. recovers in time, and Alfonso only goes to third. A mistake by a very good base runner.
Second and third, nobody out, and Robin Ventura, the hitter. 3 doubles right out of the gate for the Mets. Ball 1 from Kyle. Not much from Ventura in this postseason. A 1 home run coming in the first inning of Game 4 in the clincher of the division series against the Giants. Into right center field. Well hit at the track. Up against the wall. The Mets will take the lead. That's 4 consecutive doubles, and it's 3-2 New York.
In Las Vegas, the Mets are doubling down here in the first inning. 4 in a row. 2 to right center, 2 the other way as Ventura delivers. Mike Piazza learning from Alfonso. Piazza off about a third of the way, scores easily.
Still nobody out in the inning. Dave Duncan back to the dugout, and the batter is Zeal. The career numbers are not good for Kyle on 3 days rest. ERA just under 7, the record of 3-8. 12 times he started on 3 days rest, and he misses with ball 1 to Zeal, low and away.
Now Todd Zeal is the type of hitter that will give himself up and go the other way. His natural stroke is to right field. So good time to hit the ground ball the other way and move Ventura to third.
What a save by Hernandez. It's 2-0. Bob Brenly is down behind the plate. Bob?
Well, after the visit to the mound by Dave Duncan, the pitching coach Darryl Kyle has come back with a split finger and now a curveball to Todd Zeal. It seems like he has really been getting beat on his fastball. Of course, he needs to use his fastball to set up his other pitches, but he's throwing them right down the heart of the plate with very little movement.
Every pitch that was hit for a double in this inning have been on fastballs.
3-2 Mets in the first inning. Runner at second, nobody out. A 2-0 pitch. 3 balls, no strikes. They called it a strike. 2 balls and a strike on a pitch low and away, and that is a gift. Handed out by Dale Scott. Four doubles tying Pittsburgh back in 1992. A single inning record, and there's still nobody out. Left side for Tatis. Zeal does not advance the runner. 1 out. But what a difference that 2-0 pitch makes when Ohio got it thrown low and away, and he comes back and gets the ground ball off the bat of Zeal.
Yeah, that gave Darryl Kyle the room to throw the curveball, and it was a nasty one. Zeal hitting it off the end of the bat as he pulls it meekly to Tatis.
Runner at second, 1 out for Agbayani. Breaking ball misses. While Alfonso now has a 10-game hitting streak in the postseason, dating back to Game 5 of last year's NLCS with Atlanta, Agbayani is hit in all 7 postseason games this season. A 1-0. 2 balls, no strikes from Kyle.
Now you got the feeling that Darryl Kyle had to do that. 4 doubles in a row, and then the out by Zeal, as you saw Peyton on deck. That was a little wake-up message to Agbayani.
The 2-0. Breaking ball high, and it's 3-0.
Dave Duncan is saying that ball wasn't high.
Certainly was not inside. A lot of times that curveball inside to a right-handed batter from a right-handed pitcher, you're not going to get that pitch because the catcher has to cross the plate to catch it.
Here's the 3-0, and it's shot into deep center field. It's got a chance. Edmonds back off the wall. In to score Ventura. There's another double, the 5th of the inning, and it's 4-2 Mets.
Another fastball and another double. 5 doubles on 5 fastballs. A 3-0 pitch, and Agbayani misses about a foot from having it go out of the ballpark. Nope, make that about 5 feet. Thought it hit the top of the fence initially, but it looked like it hit the bottom of the fence.
So now a runner at second, 1 out, and Jay Payton stands in. Breaking ball in for a strike.
That's what Darryl Kyle is going to need to do against this Mets offense. Drop that curveball in there for strike 1. His fastball is consistently at 92, 93 miles an hour, but absolutely no movement. Laser beam straight over the heart of the plate.
We've seen 6 batters and 5 doubles. Agbayani at second, 1 out, and a pickoff play back at second too late. So there it is, a single inning record for the Mets. 5 doubles in this inning, a postseason record. And again, there's only 1 out. Payton with a count of 0-1. Breaking ball is hammered deep down the left field line. Into the corner. It is foul. Just foul.
Bobby threw the curveball, but it was right up in his wheelhouse. Payton just missing a home run.
Tomahawk swing from Payton. The count 0-2. Runner at second, 1 out. St. Louis got 2 in the first. The Mets have come right back with 4. Payton went after one, chased it, missed it, 2 out. The first strikeout for Kyle.
Tom Robson, the hitting instructor, saying that Jay Payton, because he missed so much time over the last 7 years with 2 elbow injuries and a shoulder problem, he's really just learning to read pitches in the big leagues. He couldn't read that curveball low and away. There's Tom.
Now it's Bordick with a runner at second, 2 out. And ball 1 from Darryl Kyle. Sure, everybody across the country watching this is thinking about the 3 days rest for Darryl Kyle, and that it is indeed a factor here in the first inning. 1 ball, no strikes. Back up the middle. Vina will keep it on the infield and get the out to end the inning. What a play by Fernando Vina. What an inning here in Game 4. The Cardinals with a 2-run homer from Edmonds in the first. It was answered double after double after double after double after double after 1. Game 4. 4-2 New York.
Just whistle while you work.
Just whistle while you work.
If you want happy employees, help secure their financial futures. At the Principal Financial Group, that's what we do. In fact, more employers choose us for their 401k plans. Financial solutions for growing companies from the Principal Financial Group. We understand what you're working for.
think I found my game. Now, all we got to do is figure out what game that is.
If you play, you know it's more than a game.
Don't think about it. Feel it.
Will Smith, Matt Damon, Charlize Theron.
I can win it. You know why? Panic? That's right. Pure panic.
In a Robert Redford film.
Does he have a shot? You got to see with your soul.
The Legend of Bagger Vance. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, November 3rd.
Every business can use extra help now and then. The real challenge is finding workers you can trust to do the job. With Labor Ready, you get the kind of help you need when you need it, even an hour before. Today alone, Labor Ready placed thousands of workers in hundreds of industries, from construction to catering. You can find good help these days. Labor Ready. Dependable temporary labor.
Imagine a world where coffee breaks last all day. And where your cup is always full.
Thank you.
It's where the coffee world meets the cyber world, and you can be there with the new Smart Visa cards with remarkable chip technology. And at the Web Shack Cafe in London, you can buy your coffee with Visa, but not American Express, not even Blue. Learn more at Visa.com.
The new case is a manhunt.
They're not going to find Mulder this way. You know that, and I know that.
The new agent is a mystery.
How far would Mulder go?
How far would he go for what?
The truth. The new X-File is Mulder. The X-Files season premiere Sunday, November 5th on Fox.
From the creator of Sex and the City, The Street premieres Wednesday, November 1st on Fox.
Well, if you've just finished watching, the Mariners beat the Yankees 6-2 to keep that American League Championship Series alive. We welcome you to Shea Stadium. We're only in the second inning. You haven't missed anything more than one inning, but you've missed a lot of action. Breaking ball is high to Fernando Tatis, and this game is underway in the second. The Mets lead this series 2-1. It's game 4. And Tatis, who yesterday had a sac fly and a double, leads it off. 1 ball, 1 strike. In the first inning, a leadoff double by Fernando Vina, a bunt by Edgar Renteria, and a 2-run home run by Jim Edmonds. And these fans here at Shea Stadium were groaning. The groans changed to cheers in the bottom of the first inning. Double by Perez. RBI double by Alfonso. A double by Piazza. Second and third, nobody out. A 2-run double by Ventura. After Zeal grounded out, Agbayani narrowly missed a home run, doubled for an RBI. Payton narrowly missed a home run, eventually struck out, and Bordick grounded out 1-4-3 to end the inning. Tatis gets into one into right center field. Well hit. Perez back on the run. At the track, he's got it. 1 out. Game after game after game, the 23-year-old outfielder does something to let you know he's in the lineup.
He's everywhere. He made 2 fine catches in Game 2 in St. Louis. He opened this game with a double and obviously scored 5 in the bottom of the first inning. And a nice play right here. A lot of hang time for that ball. Think about that first inning. 6 doubles, a home run, and 6 runs scored for both teams. Man.
1 out, nobody on for Drew. 3 out of 9 in this LCS, and a breaking ball is high.
Joe, how many times do you see both teams score 6 runs in an inning and not get a single?
That's true. Cardinals a double and a home run, and then those 5 doubles for the Mets. That's on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Same lineup tonight. Tony La Russa threw out there in Game 3, a game that started yesterday afternoon, and the Cardinals won by a final of 8-2. The 1-1 pitch is popped up. Shallow left center for Payton. 2 out.
You saw that graphic about Darryl Kyle pitching 7 innings in the first start in Game 1. He lost that game, giving up only 3 runs in 7 innings, 4 tonight in the first inning. And I know it's the natural thing to say, well, he's only had 3 days rest. But keep in mind that he gave up 2 runs to the Atlanta Braves in the top of the first inning in St. Louis. First game, or the second game of the LDS. And he gave up 2 runs to the Mets in the first inning. And both of those starts were normal rest starts for Darryl.
But for Kyle and the Cardinals, the way the Mets got the 4 runs are in the category of a bit alarming. Ringing doubles left and right. A breaking ball. I can't tell you where it missed, and the count 1 ball, 1 strike.
That's the breaking ball we were talking about in the scouting report. Bobby uses it to get ahead. He'll rarely throw this pitch with 2 strikes, and you're right. Where was it? Certainly wasn't high.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out, nobody on. That's on the corner, and it's 1-2. This crowd is alive and well now at Shea. Young and old. The 1-2 to Hernandez. 2-2. Into right center and easy for Perez. He has another in the inning, and the Cardinals go in order. Bottom of the second. Jones will lead it for the Mets. Then Perez and Alfonso 4-2 New York.
Local breweries. Beer shipped the same day it was born. Refrigerated distribution centers. Daily deliveries. Our exclusive Born on Dating. That's how we guarantee
Budweiser is the freshest beer choice out there.
Pick up your brush. Pour the giant kiss with the arms and sleeves and up and on to the front. Expensive and neat and
E-Trade's online sign-up makes it easy to open a brokerage account. Apply now, and you could be investing in 5 minutes.
Good 1, 2, 1. Great warm-up. Now let's work out and...
Sign up online for a $75 bonus. E-Trade. It's your money.
Who says you can't share secrets with your grandson for years and years?
Who says you can't watch the waves break for many summers to come?
Pravachol says you can fight back against heart attack. If you have high cholesterol or heart disease, and diet and exercise still aren't enough, adding Pravachol can make a difference. Other drugs lower cholesterol, but Pravachol is the only drug of its kind that's also proven to help prevent both first and second heart attacks, so you can live a longer, healthier life. Talk to your doctor about Pravachol today. Pravachol, a prescription drug, isn't for everyone, including people with liver problems or women who are pregnant, nursing, or may become pregnant. And because serious side effects can result, tell your doctor about any muscle pain or weakness you experience while on Pravachol. Your doctor may do blood tests to check for liver problems. Tell your doctor about any medicines you are taking.
Who says you can't spend a lifetime with your first love?
Pravachol. It's your life. Fight for it.
The NLCS on Fox is brought to you by Budweiser with a crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. This Bud's for you. And by Bristol-Myers Squibb, makers of Pravachol.
Well, we have had an eventful inning and a half here in Game 4, Shea Stadium. And most of the events swirled around Darryl Kyle. A terrible first inning. Kyle will start the second with the Mets pitcher, Bobby Jones, at the plate, who was only 2 out of 44 at the plate during the regular season. Then Perez and Alfonso for New York. And a strike from Kyle. Bobby Jones on 0-1 takes strike 2. 0-2. First 2 starts in this postseason coming into tonight. First inning, total of 4 runs allowed. After, a total of 1 run allowed. He gave 4 in the first tonight, and he's 1-2 on Jones, leading off the second.
Tony La Russa telling us before the game that, look, he's strapped. He's got to start Darryl Kyle tonight. Pat Hinkin goes tomorrow night, and if it goes to 7, Darryl Kyle will go in Game 7, and probably Andy Binnis would start Game 6. But with the injuries to Garrett Stevenson, the ineffectiveness to Rick Ankiel, the left-hander.
A little floater into center will hang up for Edmonds, 1 away. So Darryl Kyle had to pitch on 3 days rest. Might have to if the series goes long enough. Worked 3 times in this NLCS, and here are his thoughts on pitching tonight's game.
My job on this pitching staff is to be ready to go when Tony says it's my turn. And if he says it's on 3 days rest or 4 or 5 or none or 1, my job is to be ready to go. And whatever he needs me to do, I'll be ready to go.
1 out, nobody on for New York. Timo Perez at the plate. The scheduled starter for tomorrow night, Pat Henkin. Watching from the dugout as Perez takes a breaking ball in for strike 1. Timo, who was just brought to AAA as a fill-in player. When the Mets called up Jason Tyner, they eventually traded away Tyner, and one of the reasons why was because the hitting of Timo Perez at AAA. He hit .357. Was added to this roster. Had a surprising September, and he has been extremely valuable. And we talked about it last night with not only the hits and the defense in the outfield, but the different look that he brings to this Mets lineup, giving them some speed at the top.
And he probably wouldn't be in there were it not for the injury to Derek Bell, the regular right fielder in Game 1 of the League Divisional Series in San Francisco.
Perez took that off the ground, and the count's still 1-2.
That was high to a groundhog, that ball. Check this curveball out. Shoot top hop. Hey, almost a short hop. That ball would have short hopped Carlos Hernandez.
With 2 strikes, I'm sure Hernandez is happy Perez put the bat on the ball.
Yeah.
It gets behind him. Perez is at first. As it is, he goes to left center, and he's at first anyway. Langford cuts it off. Perez 2 for 2. And that'll bring in Alfonso.
Number 13,
First inning, all 5 doubles from center field. And all of them to right field or right center with the exception of Agbayani's. All fastballs.
First 4 batters, 4 consecutive doubles. And that's the first time any team has ever done that in postseason play. 4 consecutive doubles. 1 on, 1 out. Perez might run at some point as Alfonso takes strike 1.
I remember Bobby telling us before Game 1 that he did not like to put the hit and run on with Alfonso as the hitter because he's too good a hitter to waste him. And what he meant by that was have him swing at any pitch to try to protect the runner. He has been red hot in the postseason.
Perez at first with 1 away. There he goes. Throw down to second. Perez safe with a stolen base. So he was running, and he's safe with his second steal of this postseason.
And it looked like the hit and run because Alfonso protecting him. I think it was a foul tip. And by the time Hernandez makes the throw, Perez is in there. On a foul tip, you can't center the ball in the center of the mitt. And when you go in there with the throwing fingers, which is the index finger, middle finger, and thumb, you can't really get a firm grip on it. Easily safe.
This year in the major leagues, Kyle had the lowest percentage of stolen bases allowed because of that good compact delivery, even for a big right-hander. But the absence of Mike Matheny in this postseason is definitely a factor. Perez at second with 1 out. The pickoff play back at second. And a late tag applied by Vigna.
You know, Joe and Tim, one thing that has to be particularly disconcerting to Darryl Kyle and the Cardinals, Kyle struck out 192 batters in 232 innings during the regular season. He has 2 strikeouts in this postseason. Todd Zeile in the first inning of Game 1 and Jay Payton in the first inning of this game. That's off the end of the bat into center. Edmonds with a catch. Perez tags and goes to third, and he's there with 2 outs.
Well, that's the one thing about this Met ball club is they have a lot of power, but they don't strike out that much. And Mike Piazza is an example of that. Piazza, with all his power this year, struck out only 69 times. So a guy who combines contact with power.
Foster out of his cage in games 1 and 2. Put back in the cage here yesterday by Andy Bennis. He had a single in his last at-bat. That was it, and left 3 runners on in his first 2 at-bats. And the Cardinals will put Piazza on the intentional pass, and it'll be up to Ventura.
This is an odd way for Tony La Russa to play the percentages, putting Piazza on to get to the left-handed hitter, Robin Ventura. But when you look at their seasons, it makes all the sense in the world. Ventura batting only .232 during the regular season, and Piazza, one of the most damaging hitters in the game.
Here comes ball 4, and it's first and third, 2 out for Ventura. In case you're wondering, Kyle had only 1 intentional walk the entire regular season. Ventura in this postseason only 167. He doubled home a couple in the first inning. And he's now 2 out of 10 in this LCS.
Joe, if you're going to walk Mike Piazza, Robin Ventura a pull hitter, I don't think Darryl Kyle should hold him on. And sure enough, Will Clark's moving behind him right now.
First and third, 2 out. And ball 1 to Ventura. The first 3 games of this LCS, the Mets left-handed hitters were 4 out of 32 for a 125 average. Tonight, they're 3 for 3. Perez 2 for 2. Ventura, first inning, 2-run double. And now they count 2-0. On at the corners. 2 out. 2-0 the count. In case you're wondering, Zeile waits on deck. Step to third, look to first move, and nobody moved.
Yeah, that makes no sense whatsoever, because even had Piazza broken, Will Clark's back in the position. I think Darryl Kyle forgot that Clark was playing behind Piazza. Why that move there?
2 balls, no strikes. Breaking ball is low, and it's 3-0.
Went to the 2-0 curveball, and it misses downstairs. So Agbayani had the 3-0 hit sign, and you can bet that Ventura has the sign, as Tony La Russa telling Hernandez he'll be swinging.
Rio pitch. Didn't give him a chance to swing the bat. The bases are loaded. Back-to-back walks. An intentional pass to Piazza. A 4-pitch walk to Ventura, and Zeile has a chance to add to this 4-2 Mets second inning lead. It appears the Cardinal bullpen is going to get busy.
And that's bad news for the Cardinals. Not only is their starter ineffective so far tonight, but the Cardinals can't use Britt Reams, their fine young right-hander. He'll be ready for tomorrow night. But Tony La Russa said, not tonight. He did so well in Game 2, picking up Rick Ankiel.
Kyle and Hernandez having a tough time getting together on the sign. Kyle worked nearly the entire year with Mike Matheny behind the plate. Bases loaded, 2 out. Breaking ball in for strike 1. Mike Timlin getting loose. Zeal 5 out of 12 in this series with St. Louis. A team that brought him to the major leagues in 1989. Fastball hits the outside corner, 0-2.
No place to put Zeal. Todd had a grand slam home run against the Cardinals earlier this year, back when the Mets swept the Cardinals in May. Hit it up Dave Beers.
The 0-2 from Kyle. Drops down and it's ripped into the corner. Perez scores. Piazza scores. Ventura's held and it's 6-2 New York.
The danger in dropping down to a guy like Zeal is the pitcher can get under that breaking ball and it becomes a spinner and not a curveball. Surprise, surprise. A double here in the second inning. That was a spinner right there.
Second and third, 2 out for Agbayani. And a strike on the inside corner. Benny doubled and drove home the 4th run of the first inning, his first time up. Four-run Mets lead here in the second. That almost took a piece of Ventura with it. 0-2.
That's obviously why runners from third base lead off in foul territory. Watch Robin Ventura. Used to that, but usually he has a glove on. Great third baseman. This time as a base runner.
A little high, a ball and 2 strikes. Kyle right now is battling to stay in the game personally and to keep the Cardinals in the game in the big picture. Runners on at second and third, 2 out, and a 1-2 pitch to Agbayani. Third base side, foul ball. And it's out of play. The 6 doubles here in the first inning and 2/3 by the Mets. Tie an LCS record. Most doubles by one team, 6. Andy Bennis gave the Cardinals 8 solid innings here yesterday afternoon and evening. Different story with Kyle tonight. 1-2 pitch. Saved by Hernandez, and he just saved a run.
That's the 3rd save of the night by Carlos Hernandez. Fine play. Boy, that's a terrific play.
Second and third, 2 away here in the second. Breaking ball into center, base hit. In to score Ventura. Here comes Zeal, good throw, and out at the plate to end the inning. Zeal argues that he got his foot on the plate before Hernandez got a glove on his body. 3 more runs, and it's 7-2 Mets.
You want to cash in, then kick back.
Learn how to retire 10 years early. Get tips on Good Day Monday.
Starting at 6 a.m. on Fox 5.
Retired and loving it.
I'm in heaven.
Heaven! I'm in heaven! And my heart beats so that I can hardly speak.
Owning a Jeep Cherokee means more than just freedom. It means you're part of something bigger. And now get all this for no extra charge.
It was asking $18 million, but it had a putting green, and that's what everyone wants. A terrace is worth a couple million extra. And then we have a little television up here, so when you're sitting in the jacuzzi, you can watch TV, get a window seat, and you can watch the parade. Don't you agree for $12 million, this is a great deal? You should see what's out there for $15 million. Huh.
The New York Post, now only 25 cents. The only great deal left in New York.
Dr. Miller, line 2. Line 2, Dr. Miller, pick up line.
There's a lot about life in the big city that's out of your control, except the car you drive. That's why it makes sense to drive a car that's sophisticated and street smart, so that once again, you can be the ruler of your own destiny. The 2001 Accord from Honda.
Baseball is brought to you locally by your Honda dealer.
The one thing that you do not do if you're going into a catcher is you don't try to hook slide into a catcher. Catchers love that. Watch how Hernandez effectively pinches off the right foot of Todd Zeal from home plate. Right there. Never reached the plate. Pinching it off like that, you can afford the high tag. Todd never got there.
One former catcher sliding into a current catcher. Zeal came up through the Cardinal organization as a catcher. That out ended a 3-run second inning at 7-2, and Darryl Kyle takes strike 1.
He said earlier that Tony La Russa told us he was strapped in so many words, and another example of it right here. Normally, no way Kyle was that in this situation.
And something that we talked about in yesterday's game bears repeating. The one thing that Tony La Russa counted on all season was his starting pitching. It took until the middle of August for the Cardinals to go outside their original starting 5 that they broke camp with in spring training. Britt Reams was the young right-hander that was called up when Andy Bennis went on the disabled list, and still in all the Cardinals used only 6 starters. But because of a season-ending injury, as Kyle pops it up, Bordick waiting for it. Because of a season-ending injury to Garrett Stevenson and something he suffered in the division series and the ineffectiveness of Rick Ankiel, Darryl Kyle has to pitch on short rest, and the rest of the pitching plans are up in the air at this point for the rest of this series. Here's Vigna. Vigna doubled back in the first inning and scored on the home run by Edmonds. And the Cardinals effectively took the home crowd out of it for about 4 minutes.
For a nanosecond.
Timo Perez started the bottom of the first inning with a double. Mets have hit 6 doubles and lead 7-2. We're in the third. And with 1 out, Vigna takes ball 1. missing high, and he's missed high with frequency in the early innings here tonight, as he's 2-0 on Vigna.
What happens when pitchers do that, and Dave Wallace certainly knows that, they call it drifting. That's when the body gets in front of the arm. Obviously, that lower part of the body, you should use those legs, and I'm sure Dave Wallace has tried to make the adjustment. We have an interesting sound bite after Vigna, after his at-bat.
Showing bunt, taking ball 3, 3-1.
But what Bobby Jones is doing right now is not what Dave Wallace, the pitching coach of the Mets, told him to do. And that's driving off that back leg.
Full count. And it looked like Vigna was willing to take a strike and hit with a full count. Renteria next. Here's Dave Wallace.
All right. Yeah, I'll get it down. You know what? Because when you're coming up, you jump out just a little bit. Stay back there. When that leg comes up, stay back at the rubber. As soon as you come up, you're starting to lean. Just stay back there, especially on your curveball. Okay?
It's similar to a hitter who is fooled on a changeup and brings the hands forward. Hitting and pitching very much the same in that regard.
Renteria takes strike 1 over the inside corner. Two strikeouts so far for Bobby Jones after he got Vigna. 1 ball, 1 strike on Renteria.
What Dave Wallace was trying to tell Bobby Jones is to stay back. Once you're up on that back leg, stay back and then let the bottom part bring the arm through.
A 1-1. Strike 2.
The classic drop and drive pitcher for the New York Mets, Tom Seaver. Nobody did it better than Tom.
And the game with that dirty right knee.
He used to wear a knee protector, a knee pad on that right knee. Tom Seaver, Bobby Jones went to the same high school, Fresno High in Fresno, California.
Jones on a 1-2 pitch. And we'll do it again.
You hear hitting instructors tell hitters, stay back, stay back. You hear pitching coaches tell pitchers, stay back, stay back.
Another 1-2 from Jones to Renteria, and another foul ball. On deck is Edmonds, who homered his first time up. Renteria trying to get something started for St. Louis. In a battle now with Bobby Jones. The Cardinals tomorrow night will turn to Pat Henkin, who hasn't made a start since the 30th of September. He'll be pitching on the 16th of October. Jones on a 1-2 pitch, and Renteria's jammed. A little fly ball into left. Agbayani. The Cardinals go in order. That's 8 in a row retired by Bobby Jones, who is settled in out of the 3rd inning. 7-2 New York.
Monty, set coordinates for track 5.
Aye, aye.
Good idea.
Sir, Interstate 13 is now in range.
Affirmative, I-13 it is. If it were me, I'd take the Egan Expressway.
On my call the shot.
Punching back.
Show him what a VTEC engine can do.
VTEC power. Steady. Steady.
All right, people. Let's take her home.
It's easy to get carried away. The Accord Coupe from Honda.
In this country, people have certain inalienable rights. The right to customize technology at a fair price. The right to learn how to do amazing things with it. The right to a computer that's up to date. To technical support anywhere, anytime. To try out everything and buy nothing. So may it ever be. In Gateway Country, people rule. Call 1-800-GATEWAY.
Wine, said Ben Franklin, makes daily living easier with fewer tensions and more tolerance. Clearly, he never tried to pick out a bottle at the store. 8,000 labels, his head would have exploded. Wine should be relaxing, not work. That's why there's Woodbridge. An easy choice because it always tastes great. Handcrafted and aged in oak barrels for more flavor. Just remember wood, as in, would you like some? And bridge. Woodbridge. It's all you need to know about great wine.
The new economy won't be like the old new economy. The new economy will have new ideas. Ideas like profitability. With powerful e-business solutions, the new economy will be about how well you run your e-business, not just how well you promote it. SAP.
The Who, one night only.
How you doing out there?
It's a little chilly.
Get ready to rock.
Daddy's in the Who.
The Simpsons season premiere with The Who, Sunday, November 5th on Fox.
A 7-2 New York lead into the bottom of the third inning. The Cardinals will be here at Shea again tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern. Game 5. The Mets right now leading the series 2-1, leading this game 7-2. And then Game 6 on Tuesday on NBC at 8 o'clock, with the Yankees leading that series 3-2. So a travel day tomorrow, and Peyton, first pitch swinging, flies one into the left for Langford, one away. Travel day in that American League Championship Series. And the world champions will return home with a 3-2 series advantage. As Bordick walks in, the number 8 hitter with 1 out, nobody on.
New York Yankees tonight making their 4th cross-country trip in the last 9 days.
Ball one up and in.
Had to go back out to Oakland for that one game to play. Then they flew back to New York to open the series against the Seattle Mariners. Out to Seattle, back to New York.
Breaking ball is low, 2-0. And charters or not, that kind of travel wears down anybody. Time change, sure. The physical effort that those players have to give night after night. 2 balls, no strikes. And I know there are a lot of hardworking Americans across the country just weeping for these major leaguers who have to travel all night on charters.
Poor babies, right?
1 out, nobody on. 3 balls, no strikes. 3-1. Bobby Jones, the pitcher for the Mets, waits to hit next. That's to the right side, and it'll get out of play. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of Major League Baseball. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Tatis sidearms it across, 2 out. Bobby Jones walks in, starting on this Sunday after last Sunday's 1-hit shutout, and we asked Bobby how he celebrated his effort 1 week ago.
A lot of it that night didn't sink in. I was so mentally drained and physically drained just from, I think, being so focused. And the interviews after the game I went home that night and I stared at the wall for about a half an hour and I was in bed. You know, normally on a game like that, I'm gonna, you know, be doing cartwheels around the house or, you know, open up a great bottle of wine or something.
But as it was, he just stared at the wall. Now he stares at a breaking ball. It's low, and the count 1 ball, 1 strike. Is that true? I hear that from every athlete. It's not going to hit me until years from now. Is that the way it works?
I think so. Yeah. I've never thrown a one-hitter, but similar things.
But you've had some great postseason series.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of hard to be. You're so locked in because you know that your work's not finished, too. I mean, Bobby Jones realizing that the League Championship Series was coming up, and the Mets had a long way to go before they got to the World Series.
Kyle has been in the low 90s with that fastball since the start. Has a 2-ball, 2-strike count. And he gets Jones to end the inning. Hernandez will finish the play. The strikeout is the second for Kyle. And the Mets go in order for the first time. 4th inning now, game 4. Heart of the St. Louis order. They trail by 5.
There are those moments in life when absolutely nothing weighs you down. When you feel totally, completely free. This fall, Hyundai is introducing an exciting new line of vehicles that are a joy to drive and virtually effortless to own, thanks to America's best warranty plan. Because we believe freedom should be more than a feeling. It should be something you can actually touch.
From Amazon.com to Yahoo, from Cisco to Sun, companies that know the Internet best run Oracle. Oracle. Software powers the Internet.
Office products fast. Express ordering from OfficeMax.com. You supply the ambition, we'll supply everything else.
Green flag, green.
Open a Chase checking account and get frequent flyer miles for everything on your to-do list. Errands that don't seem very rewarding could be earning you Continental One-Pass miles. Get One-Pass miles with a Chase Continental Airlines banking card. The first debit card that gives you miles for every little thing you buy. And the only way to get one is to open a Chase checking account. Then, when shopping seems less than rewarding, at least you've got the miles. Chase, the right relationship is everything.
Looking for a great way to transport your valuables? Chevy Blazer. It has more passenger room than Jeep Cherokee and the largest displacement V6 engine in its class. Standard. Plus, a smart lease as low as $299 a month makes a true sense of security affordable. Residency restrictions apply. Call for important lease details. The Blazer $299 Smart Lease. See your local Chevy dealer today.
Baseball is brought to you locally by the men and women of General Motors.
Let's take a look at the St. Paul Company's trivia question before Bobby Jones' complete game in the National League Division Series. What pitcher did the Mets' last complete game in the postseason? He is still active today. I'll give you that hint. Not real active, but he's active today. Ball 1 up and away to Jim Edmonds. Edmonds, a 2-run home run in the first inning, his 3rd home run of this postseason. He had 42 home runs during the regular season. And this is what it looked like. Pitch came in, he swung the bat, and it ended up on the other side of the wall. Giving the Cardinals the lead, but briefly. 2-1. Bobby Jones now has pitched 12 innings in the postseason. He's retired the side in order. 10 of the 12 innings. Wow. Two balls and a strike. Now 3-1. Cardinals have to look at this 4th inning. With Edmonds, Clark, and Langford coming up, the 4, 5, or 3, 4, and 5 hitters, with Batiste up 4th in the inning. has a chance to jump back in it. Down 7-2 here in Game 4.
In Game 3 of the 1996 World Series, the New York Yankees were trailing the Atlanta Braves by 6. Joe Torre told his team to cut it in half in the 6th inning. 6th inning, that's what they did.
Edmonds pops it into center. Back to get it is Payton. 1 away. And that's 9 straight retired by Bobby Jones. I think it's easy to fall into the trap that because a guy doesn't throw 90 miles an hour and he's a right-hander, that he's not as effective as these hitters will tell you he is. And that's the case with Jones. It was the case yesterday with Andy Pennis, who was throwing to mid to upper 80s, yet effective in getting one out after another. But you tend to look at the guys like Leiter, this Mets team, who can get it up there to above 90. Heck, like Kyle, who throws 92, as the guys who have the great stuff. But Bobby Jones is trying to do it in back-to-back starts here in the postseason after finishing the regular season, winning 7 of his last 8 decisions. 1 out, nobody on, and Will Clark stands at the plate. Takes a strike.
Radar guns, in my view, have always been overused in baseball. Radar guns do not tell a pitcher's effectiveness. The hitters do.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Not saying that the radar guns do not serve a purpose. A pitcher coming back from on a rehab to build up arm strength to see if he's getting his fastball up to what it was before the injury, perhaps. Major league hitters turn that heat around.
Good pitch. He had Clark frozen in the count 1-2, and there's an example.
A 67-mile-an-hour curveball. We talked about it in the scouting report. He uses that curve to get ahead, not necessarily to get hitters out.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Now 2-2. Bobby Jones coming off the 1-hitter against the Giants. The Yankees coming off a 1-hitter thrown last night by Roger Clemens to go with his 15 strikeouts. Clark hits that ball well into deep left center field. Payton at the wall, and it's gone. An opposite field poke by Will Clark, and it's a 7-3 Met lead. Sounded good off the bat and just jumped out the opposite way. Just shy of the 396 mark out on the wall in left center field.
Joe, you and I were talking between innings. We have to both agree that this game is not over. Not over by a long stretch. Another salvo fired by the Cardinals. Clark's first home run of the LCS. He had one in the divisional series against Tom Glavine.
Now Langford, 1 out, nobody on, takes a strike on the outside corner.
Fastball away and up. And that's where it went. Up, up, and away.
Talking about a guy in Will Clark who homered in his first major league at bat against Nolan Ryan, of all pitchers.
At the Astrodome in Houston.
1986. Shortly thereafter, Bob Brenly was painting Will's boots orange. Nicknamed the Thrill, and he broke in thrilling fashion against the Hall of Famer. 2 balls and a strike on Langford. 1 out, nobody on. A run home for St. Louis, and Langford pops it up. That worn out spot in the grass out in left field. Bayani is there. 2 out. Go back to April 8th, 1986. A few pounds ago, that same swing into dead central. I wonder if he was knocked down the next pitch in his next at bat. Brenly might be able to enlighten us on that.
No, he did not get knocked down on his next pitch, but you can see why we painted his boots orange. For a rookie to come up and mash a Nolan Ryan fastball to straightaway center field at the Dome. We wanted to make sure his head didn't get too inflated.
I don't think it worked, Bob. Not lacking self-confidence. 1 ball, no strikes on Tatis, and that guides into the strike zone. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tatis's first time flying to right. 222 in the postseason. 2 out of 9. Third base side for Ventura. And the Cardinals are finished in the 4th inning. Cards get a run as Will Clark goes deep. Bubblegum before. Swing, home run, bubblegum. Bottom of the 4th.
Is there an insurance company with a 146-year history of proving that your trust is not misplaced? Without question, the St. Paul.
Tired of constant demands for new technology? Fortunately, there's CDW, the industry's leading direct solutions provider, where a dedicated account manager uses the buying power of a Fortune 1000 company to custom configure solutions to your needs. CDW makes technology easy, so you're free to enjoy the rest of your day. CDW, computing solutions built for business.
Even when a man has his toolbox handy, isn't it nice to turn to this all-purpose helper? The High Life man knows that if the pharaohs had duct tape, the Sphinx would still have a nose. We salute you, duct tape. You help a man get to Miller time.
If you thought being a student was hard,
I could join the Gwyneth Club. Would that be good?
try being a teacher.
Miss Suter, you finished #1 in the poll. What poll? Which teacher the male students want to sleep with most? Oh, how nice. You were 7th. What, 7th?
Boston Public, series premiere Monday, October 23rd at 8/7 Central on Fox. Robert Downey Jr. joins the cast of Ally McBeal, October 23rd on Fox.
Bottom of the 4th inning is 7-3. Mets lead. Timo Perez, top of the order for New York here in the 4th inning, and Darryl Kyle misses with ball 1. Doubleman scored in the 1st, singled, stole a base, and scored in the 2nd. Taking, and it's 1-1. Already a hit here at Shea. Doesn't take long around here if you do what he's doing in the postseason. 1 ball, 1 strike, and now 2-1.
What a bargain, too, Joe. We talked last night that Timo Perez was given a $100,000 bonus when he came from the Hiroshima Carp, signed with the Mets last December. What an explosive season he's had. He came up and he got his first hit against the St. Louis Cardinals and Dave Beers.
3-1.
Mets are paying him only $36,264. The average major league salary is $1.9 million per player.
3-2.
And when you think about it, the Mets started the season with Ricky Henderson in left field, Darrell Hamilton in center, and Derek Bell in right. The combined salaries of those 3 players $10.6 million. So they're paying their outfield now 20 times less than what they did at the beginning of the year.
Ball 4, a leadoff walk. Perez is on as, again, people weep across the country at the plight of the Met outfield. Third walk handed out by Kyle.
Kyle wanted this curveball. Remember, it's not where the catcher catches the ball because Hernandez clearly caught it below the knees. But Kyle thought it was a strike. Didn't get the call.
So again, here come the Mets. Perez on in this situation. Back in the second, he was running. Stole second. Alfonso later fly to center. Perez tagged, went to third. Piazza was given an intentional walk, a walk to Ventura. To load him up, a 2-run double by Zeal. And an RBI single by Agbayani. And on the play, Zeal was thrown out at the plate to end the inning. Take a look at the St. Paul Company's trivia question. For Bobby Jones' complete game in the National League Division Series, what pitcher threw the Mets' last complete game in the postseason?
I think it was David Cone.
You are correct. 1988 National League Championship Series, Game 6 against the Dodgers.
A series that the Mets lost in 7 games. Oral Hershiser not only winning Game 7, but the MVP in both the NLCS and the World Series as the Dodgers beat the Oakland Athletics in 5 to win the World Championship. And I think Dave Duncan is stalling right here.
Well, Darryl Kyle very upset not getting the called strike on that curveball to Timo Perez. Dave Duncan, you're right, waiting until Dale Scott came out to the mound, and he's having words right now. Dale Scott has had a lot of problems calling the curveball, both for Bobby Jones and Darryl Kyle in this ballgame.
Say we're not going to talk about pitches, but that's why Dave Duncan was waiting for the home plate umpire, Dale Scott, to get out there to lodge his complaints. James in. Kyle will get rest now. We're only in the 4th inning, and he's gone.
Get the power of 3, the Intel Pentium 3 processor. Cannonballs, $129 online. 88 hula hoops, $60 online. Elephant shampoo, $42 online. Not having to pay for any weird charges that show up on your bill? Priceless. With MasterCard, you're not responsible for unauthorized purchases on the web or anywhere. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
Wax on, wax off. Nice doggy. Ruff, ruff. Ding, 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 ding. Head up a tree. Ding, ding. False alarm.
He's out there with tasty Subway Selects on 3 new gourmet breads that are giving Subway sandwiches a delicious new taste, like fresh-baked Parmesan oregano and hearty Italian with cornmeal. Sure, he's just a shadow, but he's a shadow on a mission. Subway, eat fresh.
When I first started losing my hair, I panicked. Then I heard about new Grozan, and now my hair is thicker than ever.
Still going. Long-lasting Energizer batteries keep going and going and going.
Tom Green here at Muscle Beach. We're going to show how new Right Guard Extreme Sport works even under the most extreme conditions. Look, extreme protection against odor and wetness. Goes on clear and it doesn't quit.
New Right Guard Extreme Sport. Get extreme. Get Right Guard.
Check out a special episode.
Gee, it's just my type. Naked.
Of That 70s Show, all new at 8/7 Central, Fox Tuesday.
Well, we just had a sideshow while Mike James was warming up. Bob, you had the closest look at it. What was going on out there?
Well, the excitement never ends, Joe. Dave Duncan, as we mentioned, stayed out on the mound until the home plate umpire came out. Duncan then apparently asked second base umpire Steve Ripley if he had a better look at that curveball. Ripley ejected him from the ball game. Words ensued. Tony La Russa got involved in the confrontation out in the middle of the infield. We do believe Duncan has been ejected from this ball game.
So Duncan exited. We believe that he has been ejected. Tony La Russa then, after Duncan left, you can see Tony La Russa asking Steve Ripley if he threw him out of the game. Then Tony La Russa got into it prior to coming back from the break. Bruce Fremming had the final say from the men in blue, and back to action. Runner at first, nobody out, and Mike James is into the game. Edgardo Alfonso at the plate. A look over at first where Perez has his lead.
And Perez is at first base because of the 3-2 curveball that was not called a strike. And you look at the numbers in postseason for Mike James.
Still waiting on the official word as to whether Dave Duncan has been ejected from this game. As a strike is into Alfonso from Mike James.
Here's that 3-2 pitch to Perez. It was a curveball. He's not a big man, and as we said, remember, it's not where Hernandez made the catch, but where it crosses the plate. It was clearly over the plate, but called low by Dale Scott. And that's what prompted the argument of Duncan.
Perez at first with nobody out. And a check on the runner. This could be a short stay for Mike James, who is due up third in the top of the fifth. There goes Perez, and a shot into right center field. Drew giving it a look, and he's over to make the catch. One out. Well, Dave Duncan has taken his pitching charts and left the dugout. So that is rather definitive word that he has been ejected from this game, although up here at the press level, that word has not made its way across the public address system. So Tony La Russa, who's been with Dave Duncan since 1986, is seated there by himself, watching Mike James deal with Mike Piazza. Perez running, the Cardinals pitch out, throw down, and Perez is gone. 2 out. So Tony La Russa in St. Louis guessing right, and the bases are empty for Piazza.
It's odd for Perez to be running on the hit and run and then go back to first and run again. Usually he'll wait a pitch or two, but the Cardinals guessing right here, and Perez is out of there. Our foxtrot, how fast was it?
Not fast enough.
Not fast enough.
1 ball, no strikes on Piazza. 2 out, nobody on now for the Mets. On the inside corner, ball and a strike.
And certainly not an insignificant point either, with Perez being caught stealing, with Mike Piazza hitting and 1 out.
Perez the second out of the inning, and now Piazza waits for a 1-1 from Mike James. Strike 2.
We mentioned it last night. Mike can look so bad on a pitch like this. That's a whale and bail swing right there. But then throwing that same pitch again, going to hit it out of the ballpark. You can see Hernandez pointing with the catcher's mitt to keep the ball down. Make sure you keep it down. And sure enough, that ball off the plate. Shin high.
2 out, bases empty, and Piazza gets into one to left. Way out of here. 8-3 New York. Said he can look so bad on one pitch and so good on the next. He looked pretty good on that pitch.
Was that ball hit a long way?
Ventura, check swing ground ball, tricky hop, and Tatis, a nice play to end the inning. A 2-out blast by Mike Piazza, and the fans here at Shea are having a blast. Whack! Back into the back of the Cardinal bullpen, which is already active. We go to the 5th inning.
Just for you. Decked out in tomato and lettuce, I'm KFC's Twister and I'm new. With my creamy, tangy pepper sauce, I'll give those taste buds something to do. They twist me round and round all snuggly. Look what I gotta go through to be beautiful. Oh, now here I come, baby, with wedges and drink, just $2.99. Straight from KFC to you. Now, how good is that?
Great swing, Mr. Jordan. Reminds me of Derek Jeter.
What?
Derek Sanderson Jeter, the king of New York. I'll show you what I mean. 0 for 4, he goes to the batting cage. 4 for 4, he goes to the cage. Curveball, slider, you name it. He can do it all. Kind of like you, Mr. Jordan. MJ, DJ, woo! And he's drinking your stuff, too. Gatorade, for that deep down body thirst. Yeah!
Camera 3-iron, please.
Yeah. I could totally fix this.
Let's have some fun.
Okay. Critics are calling Bedazzled hilarious. Brendan Fraser doesn't give one great performance.
My.
He gives 7.
Estoy hablando español.
Elizabeth Hurley burns up the screen.
Maybe a good spanking's in order.
Red hot outrageous.
You must have a huge talent.
Get ready for one hell of a great time. Bedazzled. Rated PG-13. Friday only in theaters.
Last season's smash hit comedy is back.
Pass the lamp is a home run. 2 men scored.
That was a foul ball. Are you crazy? It went right down the line. That was foul.
Your home plate. You don't get a vote.
The Emmy Award-winning Malcolm in the Middle. Season premiere Sunday, November 5th at 8:30 on Fox.
Well, a 5-run lead again for the Mets as this game goes to the top of the 5th inning. And J.D. Drew first up for St. Louis. Drew, Hernandez, and then the pitcher's spot, Mike James. And a ball high from Bobby Jones. Jones has allowed 3 hits, a double, and a pair of home runs. Drew flied to center his first time, and he has a 1-ball, 1-strike count here.
Joe, the interesting thing about those 2 pitches to Mike Piazza, the one that he looked bad on, and then the home run, they were almost in the same spot, outside part of the plate. One was a slider, the other a fastball.
1-2 on Drew.
Talking about that contact and power earlier, even with 2 strikes, Mike Piazza hit it a ton. Most guys in a defensive mode with 2 strikes, not Mike.
2 balls, 2 strikes. pointed on it, stays alive. The off-speed pitch has been the problem for J.D. Drew. It was last year. It was in the early part of this season. And he's been getting better and better with it as the 2000 baseball season wore on. 2-2 from Bobby Jones. Do it again. Cardinals been out hit 9-3 as Drew watches one drop low and the count's full. You getting ready to dazzle the world with your telestrator magic?
I don't know if I'll dazzle them, but I think it's a good time to use it. The old automatic baseball, Joe.
3 balls, 2 strikes from Bobby Jones, and Drew starts the inning with a base hit.
Well, it's a tale of 2 pitches. That's what the caption will be. Mike Piazza, how he looked so bad on a pitch about right there. Okay? Here's the slider. It was a 1-1 count. Oh, did he look bad. And now look how he turns looking bad, about the same spot, into a home run, about 400 feet from home. Bam.
You've done well.
Thanks, Joe.
1 on, nobody out for Carlos Hernandez.
Still a work in progress.
Up the middle, base hit. First 2 Cardinals are on. Drew will hold at second. And it's 2 on with nobody out as the Cardinals try to make some noise here in the 5th inning. They'll send in a pinch hitter, Eric Davis.
Normally, J.D. Drew would go to third base on a ball like that. Now, true, the Cardinals are trailing by 5 runs. You're forced into a base-to-base situation. But I think J.D. thought he may have missed second base. He passed the bag. He is a very fast runner. Now watch him pass the bag. I think he thought that he may have missed second base, and that's why he retreated. You can't make a mistake like that when your team's down by 5.
So instead of first and third, it's first and second for Eric Davis off the bench.
I'm guessing right here, but it was very close to a miss.
Bobby Jones and the Mets would love the double play ball. Eric Davis takes ball 1. Certainly a chance here for St. Louis to make it a game again. Eric Davis in this postseason. Only 1 base hit. Big swing, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Eric Davis, a low ball hitter. We've talked about that throughout the series. Lyndon Rush now warming for the Mets. But when a pitcher does not throw hard like Bobby Jones, then you turn a low ball hitter into a high ball hitter also.
Key spot for St. Louis. Eric Davis off the bench trying to turn the lineup over. Get Pena to the plate. 2 on, nobody out. And that is just down and in. 2 balls and a strike. This season, a club record, 235 home runs for the Cardinals. Second most runs in club history with 887. The biggest comeback of the season against the Giants. Drew and Hernandez, the runners on. Eric Davis ahead on the count. 2 balls and a strike.
I think if Eric Davis gets on, this could be the last hitter for Bobby Jones.
That is fair. A fair ball down the left field line. Drew will score. Into second is Hernandez. Rather to third, into second with a double is Davis. Pinch hit RBI double, and it's an 8-4 game. Second and third, nobody out.
And we said if you don't throw hard, you turn a low ball hitter into a high ball hitter. This ball about high thigh high. Predictably, a double. Wow, that was close. Bruce Fleming right on it. It landed foul, but it went over the bag as Bruce Fleming clearly saw. Good call. Doesn't matter where it lands, past the bag.
And now, as you said a moment ago, Bobby Valentine has to give serious consideration to going to Glendon Rush, if not now, soon.
Oh, yeah.
And here comes Dave Wallace. You've got the lefty, Vigna, up now. The right-hander, Renteria, on deck. And then 3 consecutive left-handed batters. Edmonds, Clark, and Langford. And after a one-hit shutout 1 week ago today, Bobby Jones is KO'd by St. Louis here in the 5th.
Tired of constant demands for new technology? Luckily, CDW, your direct solutions provider, can custom configure computing solutions from 50,000 top name products. Like the compact Armada M700 portable computer for mobile professionals. With the lightweight design of this compact solution, CDW makes technology easy, so you're free to enjoy the rest of your day. Compact and CDW, the smart call for business.
Here I am, baby, crisp, juicy chicken just for you. Decked out in tomato and lettuce, I'm KFC's Twister, and I'm new. With my creamy, tangy pepper sauce, I'll give those taste buds something to do. They twist me round and round all snuggly. Look what I gotta go through to be beautiful. Oh, now here I come, baby, with wedges and drink, just $2.99. Straight from KFC to you. Now, how good is that?
Thank you. As you know, profits have been down. And with that being said, I'd like to announce my new CFO, Monsieur Chappie.
Look at the people.
Monsieur Chappie says that casual Fridays will now be tube top and foot pajama Fridays.
Chappie large, Monsieur Chappie large. Wee.
E-Trade, it's your money.
On an all-new Fox Tuesday, Hyde's long-lost father returns. How do you say I've missed you? An all-new That 70s Show, and Dad screws up relationships.
You ain't leaving with my CD player.
Yeah. Catch a new Titus. Then, see why critics are raving about the new hit series Dark Angel, calling it hellaciously fun.
What's your name, Dollface?
A new Dark Angel. It all starts at 8/7 Central on the new Fox Tuesday.
This fantastic aerial viewpoint is being provided by Budweiser and the Bud One airship, which travels throughout the year and appears at many exciting sporting events across the country. Once again, pitching coach Dave Wallace. We'll hear from Wallace in a moment with second and third and nobody out. Vigna waits, taking on Glendon Rush, who has been perfect in his 2 appearances this postseason. Vigna with a double, a strikeout, and now facing a left-hander and taking strike 1. Hernandez the runner at third. Eric Davis, a successful pinch hitting appearance with an RBI double. He's at second. Dropping down sidearm and getting the outside corner to make it 0-2. And now Vigna has a few words with Dale Scott.
Reason a guy like Rush drops down was trying to get that front side to move. It appeared to have caught the corner.
So the count 0-2. Piazza steps way outside, and Vigna gets a piece of it.
Something to consider right now. The Cardinals, if they score these 2 runs, it'll be a 2-run ball game. Nobody out. But if you're the runner on at third base, Carlos Hernandez, you're not a fast runner. So you have to make sure on a ground ball, it's back to the pitcher or to third base. You don't want to break and get thrown out at home plate.
Another 0-2.
So if you're the runner on at third and you can determine that the ball is hit to short, second, or first, you go home. Pitcher, third base, you stay.
3 consecutive hits to start the inning and bring an end to the night for Bobby Jones. Two and two. Against certain teams this season, Tony La Russa would stack all left-handers at the top of the lineup. But against this Mets team, with 3 lefties coming out of their bullpen, Rush, Cook, and Franco, the number 2 hitter is Renteria, a righty who waits on deck. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Vigna. Off the hands, and it remains 2 and 2. By the way, and we mentioned this yesterday when Rush came in relief of Rick Reed, left-handers this season hit .304 against Glendon Rush. Right-handers 256. Again, the 2-2. Vigna went. 1 away.
Well, he can't complain about that pitch. That ball's right down the heart of the plate. Now Tony out to protect his player. Managers cannot argue about balls and strikes. So Tony out there under the guise of protecting Vigna. But watch where this pitch is. Totally fooled by the breaking ball. It's not caught like it was a strike, but Vigna, again, not a tall hitter. So I guess the Cardinals, you could see it went over the knees. And you can see that Cardinals are probably thinking, if it was not a strike to Timo Perez, then why was it a strike to Vigna?
Now it's second and third, 1 out for Edgar Renteria. Strike 1. Renteria has provided 1 big hit after another this season and this postseason for the Cardinals. It was a one-man gang in game 2 with 3 hits. Yesterday had 2 hits, 2 RBIs, a sacrifice bunt. Tonight he's dropped down a sacrifice bunt, fly to left, and the 0-1 from Rush. That's foul, and Renteria's in the hole 0-2.
Jay Payton, the center fielder, was playing Renteria over toward left center field. But look at the gap in right center field. And Renteria can hit the ball that way. So Jay Payton is cheating toward left center right now and playing very shallow.
Cardinals set a National League record this season for strikeouts. The crowd thinking that Rush just rung up his second in succession. Vigna struck out, and the count's 1-2 on Renteria. And on the hands, it's still 1-2.
So Glendon Rush so far in this at-bat is pitching Renteria to where the outfield is set. And that's why Payton has moved in to left center field. He missed with a fastball inside. Renteria has twice grounded balls foul. So it's clear the Mets are trying to crowd Renteria. That's why Payton remains in left center field.
Now away and it missed. 2-2. Edgar Renteria, the 25-year-old shortstop, already has a World Series winning hit on his resume from 1997 when he was with the Florida Marlins. He waits for a 2-2 pitch. And he flies one into right center. Perez has a good arm. Hernandez coming to the plate. They bring him to the plate and safe as Piazza could not get a handle on it. It's a 3-run game, and over to third is Davis, 2 out.
What a quick release by Timo Perez, the right fielder. This ball was of moderate depth in right field, but watch how quickly he gets rid of the ball. But Piazza couldn't hold on. Mike looked like he lost his balance, went forward on that right knee. Had he been on his feet, perhaps he could have caught it and made the tag.
But Tim, you're absolutely right. Mike Piazza lost his balance leaning out there to receive that throw from right field.
Now a base hit to right by Edmonds, and it's a two-run game. Edmonds comes through against a left-hander rush. A three-run fifth inning for the Cardinals, and it's 8-6. And we're not even halfway through Game 4.
Well, Timmy, as you know, one of the tendencies of a catcher is to want to get that ball as quickly as possible. And that time, in Piazza's haste to lean out there and receive that throw, he just lost his balance. His right ankle buckled underneath, and he fell to his knees as the run scored behind him.
Looked like the throw was on line, but by Piazza going out to get it instead of allowing it to come to him. Hernandez scored. And not only Hernandez, but then Davis scores on the ground ball by Edmonds. So that's a two-run play at the plate, not one.
Now Clark chops one off the plate. Zeal is there. And as he taps first base, it's official. The Cardinals are back in the game. A three-run fifth inning. Bobby Jones is gone. He allows 6 runs on 7 hits, and the Cardinals are within 2.
Wax on, wax off. Nice doggy. Ruff, ruff. Ding, 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 ding. Hat up a tree. Ding, ding. False alarm.
He's out there with tasty Subway Selects on 3 new gourmet breads that are giving Subway sandwiches a delicious new taste, like fresh-baked Parmesan oregano and hearty Italian with cornmeal. Sure, he's just a shadow, but he's a shadow on a mission. Subway, eat fresh.
Avaya, communication without boundaries.
What if I told you I was a genetically revved up female? Like we're not.
Critics are raving about the new Fox hit, Dark Angel.
What's your name, Dollface?
It's hilariously fun.
What are you in for?
Robbery. How about you?
Cannibalism.
Good source of protein.
Jessica Alba is something to behold and a star to watch.
Damn, bro, what's in those pills? Spinach.
An all-new Dark Angel at 9/8 Central Fox Tuesday.
The National League Championship Series on Fox is brought to you by Bedazzled on Friday. Be careful what you wish for. By Nissan, Driven. By Avaya, communication without boundaries. And by Paxil.
Well, the best seat in the house tonight is inside the Bud One airship, flying overhead tonight to bring you these beautiful live shots. Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. Down below here at Shea Stadium, the Mets have had leads of 7-2 and 8-3. It's now 8-6 after a 3-run fifth inning. And the third pitcher of the night for St. Louis is the hard-throwing right-hander Mike Timlin.
Mike Timlin, the losing pitcher in Game 2. He was up earlier, you may remember, but since Mike James came in for only 1 inning in the 4th, to spell Darryl Kyle, since the pitcher was the third hitter for the Cardinals in the top of the 5th inning. I think Tony La Russa making it clear he wants more innings out of Timlin.
Folks, tonight, immediately after the game, turn to Fox Sports Net for a special edition of the National Sports Report, live from Shea Stadium. Keith Olbermann and Steve Lyons give you complete post-game coverage, including highlights, and there already have been a ton of them, interviews and analysis. There'll be plenty of that, of the entire NLCS. The National Sports Report tonight after the game on Fox Sports Net. Todd Zeile will lead off. He'll deal with Agbayani and Payton after Zeile. James 1 inning, 1 run on the Piazza blast into left field. And now it's Timlin. Darryl Kyle, the starter for the Cardinals, on 3 days rest, lasted only into the 4th inning. Zeile takes strike 1. 95 miles per hour from Mike Timlin. Great stuff, but as we mentioned in Game 2, sometimes doesn't know where it's going. Off the end of the bat into right. Drew back to get it. 1 out.
There have been 14 runs scored in this game.
I knew you were working on something over there. I knew it.
And 12 extra base hits. 4 by the Cardinals, 8 by the Mets. Well, I had to figure it out.
I'm wondering why you had your shoes off. Counting it all.
You need a lot of digits in this game. We're only halfway through already. 12 extra base hits.
Agbayani, who has 1 extra base hit, 2 hits total, takes ball 1. Agbayani an RBI double in the first, an RBI single in the second. Woo! That's foul, a ball and a strike. You've got Agbayani, who had been told leading into the '96 season that the Mets were about to release him. He got basically a 2-week stay. He was called up to AAA where his manager was Bobby Valentine. Valentine had liked him from spring training when he was working with all the minor leaguers as the AAA manager. Agbayani grounds to first. And it was Valentine who has been in Agbayani's corner since 1996, taught him that high leg kick, and he has produced. Now he's hit in all 8 postseason games for the Mets this season. It brings in Jay Payton, who has had one struggle after another as a 27-year-old rookie. And we asked him about overcoming his injuries to lead him to the big leagues in the year 2000.
Yeah, I had tried to wonder, what I wanted to do. I thought about accounting. I thought about, the stock market, getting involved with that, just whatever. But I mean, there's nothing to compare to, to playing baseball, and so that's basically what just kept me going. Short of my arm falling off, I was going to keep trying until I couldn't go anymore.
2 out, nobody on, and Payton grounds back to Timlin. That big body with a diving stop, and a 1-2-3, bottom of the 5th inning. Now the Cardinals will bat in the 6th inning, making noise in the middle frames of Game 4, 6th inning, 8-6 New York.
Check out a special episode.
Gee, it's just my type. Naked.
Of That 70 Show, all new at 8/7 Central, Fox Tuesday.
The 16-valve, twin-cam Grand Am SE. Built with the enduring strength of high-performance steel. Because only the strong survive. The Grand Am was solid form design. Get over $4,500 in average finance savings on any new 2000 Grand Am with 0% APR for up to 60 months. See your Pontiac dealer today.
I'm gonna get baseball cards. I'm gonna get clothes. Where are you spending your allowance? Well, I plan to build a portfolio that's broadly diversified in America's greatest companies, with a small portion aggressively seeking out higher returns. What's a portfolio?
It's never too early to learn about smarter investing. Visit us at thenewschwabwelcome.com, where every investor is welcome.
You might want to hold on to that Mickey Mantle card.
Still trying to make the major leagues? Log on to MajorLeagueBaseball.com to reach the major leagues every day. Video highlights on demand, live game audio. Make the moves in MLB's official online fantasy game. Grab the latest gear at the official store. MajorLeagueBaseball.com lets you be a part of the major leagues, and it may even help your game.
Flushing, New York, Shea Stadium. Game 4 of the National League Championship Series with the Mets leading 2-1. They took a 2-0 series lead into yesterday's game and lost to the Cardinals and to Andy Bennis 8-2. Tonight, the Mets gave up 2 runs in the first inning, but came back with 4 in the bottom of the first. As Langford rips one into right field, the Cardinals have a leadoff hit. They're back at it in the 6th inning, which only jumps to the end of the story after I was going through inning by inning. 7-2 Mets after 2. 7-3, then 8-3 and a home run by Piazza. 8-6 after a 3-run 5th, and now the leadoff man for the Cardinals on base here in the 6th.
Watch the approach of Ray Langford. You can really tell he is a low ball hitter with that stroke. Not a bad breaking ball from Rush, but thrown to a guy who can handle it downstairs.
And now 2 guys who came up through the Cardinal organization. Off the bag at first, Zeal holding against Langford as Tatis stands in. And the tying run is in the batter's box for the Cardinals. Tatis is 0 for 2 during the regular season, hit 18 home runs. No long balls in the postseason. It's 2-0.
Well, you can see once again Todd Zeal over at first base for the Mets with a left-handed pitcher on the mound. He does not position himself on the base to hold the runner. He actually takes a lead off with the runner, trying to screen the guy's vision of the pitcher's move. And most of the time, it's a preset signal from the bench when that pitcher is going to go over to first base.
Bob, in game 1, you said Jay Bell of the Arizona Diamondbacks blocked Todd Zeal from getting to first base. And when Glendon Rush made that first pitch, it looked like Langford was trying similar strategy. Right now, he's doing it.
2-2 on Tatis.
Well, you're absolutely right. Todd Zeal can take a step inside the baseline, which appears what he's trying to do right now. Ray Langford taking his lead off a little bit on the inside part of the bag. Now they're lined up. There you see Langford moving inside of Todd Zeal. Perfectly legal on Langford's part.
Tatis strikes out, 1 away. And the second strikeout for Glendon Rush.
High fastball gets Tatis. Right around the letters.
1 on, 1 out. And another lefty for Glendon Rush, J.D. Drew. Check on Langford.
See, Langford's mixing it up. He's not allowing Zeal to know where he is. Now he jumps out there past Zeal.
Zeal will be able to shake Glendon's hand here in a minute.
Yeah.
Well, that really puts a lot of pressure on the first baseman to hop around.
Especially with the left-handed batter up there. First baseman's got to guard the hole, too.
Strike 1 to Drew.
And the shortcoming of that play is what if the first baseman's going back to the bag and the left-handed hitter, in this case J.D. Drew, hits it in the hole on a ball that he normally could get. His momentum's taking him back toward first, and perhaps he won't be able to reach a ball like that.
Snap throw, Langford back. In essence, Zeal, the first baseman, Olerud last year, has to read the pitcher's move along with the runner.
That's right. That's right.
And if he misreads the move, he could be out of position. 1 ball, 1 strike on Drew. Olerud was so good at it last year. But Zeal is a bit more challenged by that particular play.
Now Ray Langford really is confusing Todd Zeal more than Todd Zeal's confusing Ray Langford as Turk Wendell's up and throwing. Back in his line.
Sidearm and a line drive caught by Bordick. No play at first, 2 out.
Bobby Valentine told us that a left-hander with a good move, he would not have Todd Zeal do that at first base. And a right-handed pitcher, he'll have Zeal on the bag in the more conventional way of holding a runner.
And Langford and Zeal look like they need an NBA referee down there. They look like they're battling for position for a rebound.
They get more than 3 seconds, though, in the paint. Now Carlos Hernandez, 1 on, 2 out. Leadoff hit by Langford. He has stayed put. Ball 1 to Hernandez. He's 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored. Mark McGwire in the on-deck circle. Added incentive for Glendon Rush to end the top of the 6th inning with Hernandez at the plate.
And for Turk Wendell to get ready in a hurry.
You talked yesterday that the matchup Bobby Valentine was trying to avoid was McGwire against Rush. McGwire ended up pinch hitting against Rush, getting under a ball and flying it to left. Against Wendell, McGwire is 0 for 8 with 6 strikeouts. And that's why Wendell is getting loose in a hurry in the Mets bullpen. Carlos Hernandez with a 1-1 count.
Turk Wendell, one of the quicker relievers in the National League to get ready to come into a ball game. But in the event, Hernandez should reach quickly. Somebody from the Mets should stall for a little bit of time right here.
Diving stop by Zeal. Race to the bag, and the inning is over. And Mark McGwire, who in his history is 4 out of 6 with a home run against Glendon Rush, is left standing in the on-deck circle. Good play, Zeal. Top of the 6th inning, over.
Where do you find inspiration? Sometimes where you least expect it. With technology that takes you beyond old boundaries to something more inspiring. Like the compact ProLiant server. With a 1.75-inch profile that fits everywhere, you can have your next big idea anywhere. Welcome to the new IT. Inspiration technology from Compaq.
Bob Fremden. No candidate cares more about our kids.
We owe it to our children to provide a safe and...
Still going. Long-lasting Energizer batteries keep going and going and...
Office Max. You supply the ambition, we'll supply everything else.
America's Air Force has a plane so advanced, it dominates everything in the air. Yet on radar, it's as small as a bird. The meanest, baddest bird on the planet. Join the team that keeps us flying. America's Air Force. No one comes close. What does it take to get a plane off the ground? 50 tons of aluminum. 95 miles of wire. Thousands of engineers. 1,200 suppliers. 3 million emails. 27,000 e-business transactions. And one very powerful e-business solution that makes the whole thing soar. SAP.
This fall, John Goodman is a normal guy.
Run, you son of a... Run!
From a normal family.
Are you sure you know what you're doing? Yes.
With one little twist.
If it isn't my gay homosexual son.
Normal, Ohio premieres Wednesday, November 1st at 8:30 on Fox. From the creator of Sex and the City, The Street premieres Wednesday, November 1st on Fox.
Well, Todd Zeile made the diving stop to end the top of the 6th inning, and it really paid off for the Mets to have Zeile off the bag.
I think positioning right here helped Todd Zeile with a left-hander rush on the mound. If he were holding Langston on at first base on that particular play, no way can he dive and make the 3rd out of the inning. I think he's telling Al Leiter that. Leiter works, if this game goes back to St. Louis, he will work on Wednesday night. Mike Hampton tomorrow night for the Mets.
Mike Timlin, 2nd inning of work. Mike Bordick at the plate. Then Rush will bat. And then Perez. Bordick go for 2 and hitless in this LCS. 2-0.
Keith Hernandez giving tips to Todd Zeile this spring. And it was Keith Hernandez who always used to say, always protect the hole to your right if you're a first baseman, and not to your left. Don't protect the exception down the line, but protect where the majority of the balls are hit.
3 balls, no strikes on Bordick. Of course, Hernandez was helped by having the glove on the other hand.
True.
So it was interesting that those two were working together this spring. Hernandez playing a different sort of first base as a strike is in 3-1. But just talking about the different responsibilities of a first baseman, where to go on a certain play. Hernandez working in the early morning hours in Port St. Lucie with Zeile this spring. 3 balls and a strike on Bordick. Full count.
Hernandez cheated so much toward the second base hole that Wally Backman, who was the second baseman of the Mets in the middle 80s, could play towards second base, and Wally was weak going to his right. So everything was to his left. That's how much range Hernandez had.
You want to see Hernandez? Here's Keith Hernandez.
Look how far off the line Hernandez was. In 1983, Tom Siebert covering. Saw him, and there's Todd Zeile right there. Keith's pupil.
Well, that's a big play with McGuire on deck.
Yep.
3-2 to Bordick. Head high and a leadoff walk. Bordick and Timlin starting this season in Orioles uniforms. Part of that, if you're in contention down the stretch, come get our Orioles plan. Timlin going to St. Louis and Bordick coming here to the Mets in late season deals. And now Glendon Rush, a former Kansas City Royal, will bat, and the Cardinals expect the bunt. Let's look ahead. Game 5 tomorrow of this series during the travel day for the American League Championship Series, 8 o'clock Eastern on Fox. Mets up right now 2-1 and lead this game 8-6, 6th inning. And then on Tuesday night, 8 Eastern on NBC, the Yankees leading that series 3-2. The Mariners are back here in New York in the Bronx to take on the Yankees. Now Glendon Rush. Throwing bunt and missing at strike 1.
Perhaps you folks are thinking at home, well, now wait a minute. Now, Mark McGuire was on deck, and Glendon Rush was going to be taken out of the game, and Turk Wendell brought in. Well, Bobby Valentine knows that Tony La Russa is going to pinch hit someone else to lead off the top of the 7th inning because it's still a 2-run ball game. If it's a 1-run game, Bobby Valentine pinch hits for Glendon Rush and tries to play for a big inning.
Timlin steps off. Rush at the plate this season was 3 out of 50.
Why he's bunting.
That's why he's bunting. Bobby Jones, the starter, was 2 out of 44 during the regular season, was 0 for 2 at the start of this night. There's a bunt. That is a foul ball. And by the way, to go to umpire school 101, That call is for the home plate umpire until the ball gets to the bag. But down the each baseline until the baseball gets to the bag, it's the home plate umpire's call, and it was Dale Scott who called that ball foul.
Did Glendon Rush, however, block Scott's view? He may have, and in the case, common sense comes into play, and then the first base umpire makes the call. You could see Scott kind of tentatively make the call foul, but it appeared from that replay that perhaps Glendon Rush could have blocked him out.
Now to count 0-2. Would imagine they'll stay with a bunt. Clark charging from first. Timlin bobbles it. That costs him the play at second, and out at first is Rush with a sacrifice good. 1-4. Down to second is Bordick.
From the blimp, it looks like a circus routine by Mike Timlin. Rush bunting right back to him, and watch this juggling act. Had Timlin come up cleanly, easily, Bordick is out at second base, but Mike's only play was to go to first with Vigna covering. He tried to throw that ball before he had it. The ball hit his wrist, and fortunately bounced up, and he had a chance to snag it and throw it to Vigna.
Well, here's this 23-year-old who has exploded onto the major league scene. Timo Perez with a runner at second, 1 out. Perez has been on base 3 times, a double, a single, a stolen base, been out stealing once. He scored twice. And he's asked now to drive home a run. The Mets lead, bottom of the 6th. To third. Tatis stays down on it. Terrible throw. Safe at first, and it's 2 on, 1 out. Error on Tatis. He made 8 during the regular season.
Well, the one thing he does not have to do in that situation is look the runner back at second base. There's 1 out. This is the 2nd out. All you do is concentrate. He's concentrating on the runner at second. Bordick, watch him look again. No need to look there. That's why he made the bad throw. He's concerned about the wrong thing. Watch the look. Poor play and a poor way to go about it by Tatis.
Now 2 on, 1 out for Alfonso. Is there anything that he doesn't hit hard? Especially in these situations, Alfonso just lights up.
Man on second and 2 outs is a lot better than 1 out, first and second with Alfonso and Piazza coming up.
The Venezuelan superstar waits. Alfonso 1 out at 3 tonight. Facing Timlin for the first time tonight. 2 on, 1 out. That hits Alfonso to load the bases for Piazza. Last time up for Piazza. After Alfonso is grazed by the pitch. Just caught him on the left elbow. Piazza connected against Mike James back in the 4th.
What an inning of horrors. Speaking of horrors, Joe, think about how this inning developed. The 3-2 pitch inside to Bordick, he walks. Timlin with the play at second base, he bobbled it, and Rush's attempted sacrifice was successful. Tatis goes to second base if Timlin gets the runner at second, and the Cardinals could be out of the inning facing the minimum. As it is, a nightmare.
with Piazza at the plate, bases loaded, 1 out, 8-6 Mets. And ball 1 inside.
3 grand slams on the year, one of them against Roger Clemens of the New York Yankees.
Broken bat. Tatis will have no play. Safe at first. Run scores, and it's 9-6 Mets. And the defense has left Mike Timlin.
First, the bad throw. And now, cannot come up with it in time, and the throw to first late. It will be an RBI for Piazza and an error on Fernando Tatis.
Bases loaded, 1 out. Ventura could bust it open again. Strike 1. Getting loose for St. Louis. But right now it's Mike Timlin. That's into left. Perez, the lead runner at third, should score. Langford makes the catch. Strong throw. Not close. 10-6 New York.
Had 8 extra base hits coming into this inning. And here in the 6th, they have scored 2 runs with only 1 ball being hit out of the infield. That's the sac fly by Ventura. Deep enough, Perez will make sure and score easily.
No hits in the inning. 2 errors in the inning, a hit batsman. And it's a 4-run Met lead with 2 on, 2 out, and Zeal takes ball 1. Zeal with 6 of his 7 postseason hits in this series against St. Louis, including a 2-run double back in the 2nd. 2 balls and a strike. Zeal facing Timlin for the 2nd time tonight. He lined to right back in the 5th inning for the first out. Balls and a strike with Agbayani waiting on deck. Zeal looking for a pitch to hammer here. 3 balls and a strike. 2 on, 2 out. Runners go, and a fly ball into left center. Well hit. Edmonds back to win the inning. But a big inning for the Mets. 2 runs, no hits, 2 errors, 2 left. Both errors belong to Tatis. On the ball hit by Perez and on the ball hit by Piazza. It's now 10-6 New York. Back after this from your local Fox station.
In November on the Fox 5 10 o'clock news. Want to make easy money?
Yeah, they pay me $400 a month to drive my own car.
Find out how you can make big bucks every time you drive your car on the Fox 5 10 o'clock news in November.
Check it out.
generation Chrysler Town & Country.
You do that?
I thought you did. Let's get out of here.
With power sliding doors and liftgate with an obstacle detection system, Chrysler Town & Country is the best minivan ever.
From Saratoga to Sag Harbor, and from Buffalo to the Bronx, good news spreads fast across the Empire State. And now, what all of New York has been waiting for is finally back.
It's the biggest game New York has ever seen, and what could be the biggest jackpot ever seen. It's New York Millennium Millions, with a jackpot that's now $75 million and growing.
Long Easy 6 Delta Bravo, runway 7, land at the hold short of runway 12, clear to land.
And 66, proceed on to Delta Romeo, hold short.
There's always been air traffic control. Now there's air traffic control for you. Rebook flights and more with AT&T Digital PocketNet service with free unlimited access to Trip.com. Wireless from AT&T, your world close at hand.
AT&T Digital PocketNet service, the only way to get access to the wireless internet without using any of your calling plan minutes.
The new 240 horsepower Nissan Pathfinder.
Fernando Tatis with 2 errors in the bottom of the 6th inning to produce 2 runs. The SAP game summary. Edmonds has a home run, 3 runs driven in. Piazza, a blast. He's driven in 3. The Mets scored 4 runs on 5 doubles in the 1st inning, which is a postseason record. Will Clark with his 5th career postseason home run in the 4th inning, and then Tatis the 2 errors in the 6th inning to make it 10-6. Sean Dunston at the plate. 2 out of 5 of the postseason, batting for Mike Timlin. Glendon Rush doing good work out of the bullpen again for the Mets. Dunston starts it with a hit for St. Louis. That's the way the 7th inning begins.
How in the world did he hit that ball hard? That ball looked like it was 6 inches outside. Watch this swing. Not only did he hit it in the right spot, but hit it hard. What a piece of hitting by Sean Dunston.
So the leadoff man is on again for the Cardinals. That's the 3rd inning in a row. And the 4th time that's happened tonight for St. Louis. Here's Vina, who takes ball 1. Vina was the first to face Glendon Rush back in the 5th inning with 2nd and 3rd nobody out, and he struck out. And Renteria with a sac fly to right. And Edmonds with a 2-out RBI base hit to right. Now Vina goes the opposite way and sends Agbayani back. 1 out. Vina 1 out of 4, and the batter will be Renteria. Mets fans have been having fun since the bottom of the 1st inning. 4 doubles right out of the gate. Perez, Alfonso, Piazza, and Ventura after Zeal grounded out. An RBI double by Agbayani. Renteria with a good swing, strike 1.
Pitched a hit right there, and Edgar fouled it back. Remember the last time up, Glendon Rush tried to pitch him inside. Piazza sitting outside here, and Renteria just missed it. Accordingly, the defense of the Mets, they're cramming left center as Dennis Cook starts warming. Big hole in right center in the Mets defense.
That's into right field for Perez. He catches everything out there. Dunston tags, goes to 2nd, and he is out. Timo Perez. A good September A phenomenal October. Gets Dunston. Bottom of the 7th at Shea. 10-6 Mets.
Introducing the all-new Chevy Tahoe. It brings even more power to remote areas than ever before. It's nowhere near anything. The new Chevy Tahoe, like a rock.
What it is. What it feels like. What it is. What it feels like. What it is. We know what social anxiety can feel like, and Paxil can help. Over 10 million people suffer from overwhelming anxiety that significantly impairs work or social life, and a chemical imbalance could be to blame. Paxil, the only medication proven effective for social anxiety disorder, works to correct this imbalance. Paxil is not for everyone. Tell your doctor what medicines you're taking. People taking MAOI should not take Paxil. Paxil side effects may include decreased appetite, dry mouth, sweating, nausea, constipation, sexual side effects in men and women, yawn, tremor, or sleepiness. With time, your doctor's help, and Paxil, life can feel like life again. Paxil, your life is waiting.
Do you remember anything after being scanned?
A human was cloned. That human was you.
Well, you cloned the wrong man. They'll do anything to destroy the evidence. And you're the evidence.
Daddy?
How do you know? He's not you, and you're not him.
I know who I am. The Sixth Day. Rated PG-13. Opens everywhere November 17th.
The NLCS on Fox is brought to you by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. And by CDW. CDW, computing solutions built for business.
Timo Perez, you can understand Dunston's thinking. He's going toward the line. No way he can make this play. Right. Bad time to try it. 4 runs down.
This guy is so cool.
Telling you.
It's like he's been here before. It's like he's been through this sort of a pressurized situation, because he's making, not only making the routine plays, he's making phenomenal plays. Even back in St. Louis, balls down the line in the corner that he was cutting off and getting back into the infield. And what's overlooked, and I think we've overlooked it, or at least I have, is along with being a leadoff hitter and a guy to add speed to this lineup and getting on base, and he's stolen a base in this game, and he scored 3 runs out in right field. Who's better than him? Not me. We haven't seen anybody in this postseason tournament better in right field.
No, I mean, he could have 2 assists tonight. You may remember in the 5th inning, Mike Piazza lost his balance. John Franco warming. He'll be the pitcher in the 8th, probably.
Agbayani went around, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Timo Perez spells his name T-I-M-O. He may have to respell it to T-E-A-M-O, because has he ever helped this team?
An injury to Derek Bell opened the spot, not on the roster, but in the lineup. Perez has taken off since the start of Game 2 of the division series. He had 3 hits in that game.
Yeah.
Matt Morris, 4th pitch of the night for St. Louis. Renteria to his left. Good play to get Agbayani. Omar Minaya, we talked about him last night, deserves so much credit for the job he does as the assistant to the general manager here with the Mets, to Steve Phillips. As Peyton walks in, we remind you where Timo Perez has been last couple of seasons, playing for the Hiroshima Carp in a baseball school in the Dominican Republic funded by the Carp. was in Port St. Lucie during the spring, was called up, as we talked about earlier, as a fill-in at AAA, hit .357, so he gets the call-up in September to the big league level. And now here he is, not only on the postseason roster, which was, a long shot when he came up in September, but he's starring for the Mets, who, if they hang on to win here tonight, will be one win away from the World Series.
That was Steve Phillips, the general manager. Joe discussing Omar Minaya, the assistant general manager. We talked about him the other night. In our judgment, he'll be a general manager someday.
The numbers for Timlin: 2 innings, 2 runs, no earned runs, no hits, a walk. Didn't help his case there by walking Bordick, who's hitless in this LCS, to start the 6th inning. No strikeouts. That's down the right field line, off the bat of Payton and into the glove of Drew. 2 out. Don't forget to watch Game 4 of the World Series here on Fox for the $1 million Gillette Strike Zone Challenge. Where will Game 4 be of the World Series? It could be right here. The World Series will begin on Saturday in the American League City. Obviously, either the Bronx, Yankee Stadium, or Seattle. Yankees coming back home to take on the Mariners after a travel day tomorrow. Game 6, where the Yankees up 3 games to 2. And they're pitching finally in line for the last 2 games of that LCS. They threw Nagel today. He pitched okay. Jeff Nelson gave up a go-ahead 2-run single to Alex Rodriguez. And the Mariners went on to a 6-2 win to get the series back to Yankee Stadium. Bordick 1-2. Edgar Martinez with a 2-run blast. And what was a 2-1 Yankee lead was 6-2 Mariners in a blink. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Bordick. Headlines around here lately have been talking about a Subway Series. The Mets win tonight. Both the Mets and Yankees would be 1 win away from that. Tatis down the line makes a good play to get Bordick, and this game goes to the 8th. It's Game 4 of the National League Championship Series. Cardinals bat and trail the Mets by 4.
A typical day for the IT manager. Everyone wants everything now. Luckily, there's CDW, your direct solutions provider. CDW uses 50,000 top-name products to give you complete systems, including custom configuration and pre-installed software. Why get hung up in work when CDW is here to make life easier? CDW, computing solutions built for business.
So good.
Yeehaw.
He's upside down. This one has to go to class.
Some children imagine that their father is the most powerful man in the world. Wonder where they got that idea. The 300 horsepower Silverado. The truck from Chevrolet.
Sit down and listen to your inner voice.
My inner voice says honor my inner child.
Mine says love everyone.
My inner voice says I like a Wendy's bacon mushroom melt.
David, you need to go deeper.
Oh, okay. With Biggie fries and a drink?
Wait, my voice is saying that too.
So's mine.
When you're hungry, Wendy's bacon mushroom melt with 3 strips of bacon and mushrooms in a cheddar cheese sauce is like a voice that can't be denied. When you gotta have one, you gotta have one.
Boy, talk about an inner peace.
Critics are raving about Jessica Alba in the new hit Dark Angel.
She's a sci-fi stunner who's destined for stardom. She'll be haunting your dreams.
I haven't been able to get you off my mind.
You need to get out more.
James Cameron's Dark Angel, an all-new episode at 9/8 Central, Fox Tuesday.
The search begins. The X-Files season premiere Sunday, November 5th.
Jimmy always was the life of the party. It's not a party till somebody puts a lampshade on their head. They'll start the conga line later as this game goes to the 8th inning. And John Franco takes over. Big spot in the game in the Cardinal lineup. Edmonds, Clark, and Langford. The scheduled hitters. 3 left-handed batters. The Cardinals have not played good baseball tonight. Committing 2 errors, climbing back in the game after Kyle had a rough start. 3+ innings. 7 runs on 8 hits. Tatis committing 2 errors in the bottom of the 6th inning to lead to 2 unearned runs. The Mets got without benefit of a hit and took it from 8-6 to 10-6. And now they will showcase that very good bullpen. Rush was outstanding, and you can't say enough how good he's been in the postseason for the Mets. Now it's John Franco, and that's strike 1 over the outside corner.
That's a change-up grip. It's very odd. The pinky and the index finger on the side of the ball.
On the outside corner again, and it's 0-2.
This, of course, a fastball. And you can see that grip. The middle finger, index finger, little sailor right on the corner.
Edmonds 3 RBIs tonight. Piazza sets up way outside, and Edmonds caught it 1 away. Piazza juggled it, caught it before it hit the dirt, and Edmonds is gone.
Caught it before it hit the dirt or a piece of his equipment. Foul tip. Now watch this. Heel of the glove. Watch Mike react to make the play. Boink. And a boink for John Madden.
Catcher cam special for Piazza.
Yeah.
And now with 1 out, nobody on, here's Will Clark, who has a homer. 1 out of 3 tonight. The Mets trying to go up 3 games to 1 with Hampton scheduled to go tomorrow night. They're 1 out closer. 2 out in the top of the 8th.
It's interesting how Mike Piazza stayed with that foul tip. Watch it hit the heel of the glove. There. And now the reaction, turning the glove over. Fine play.
So now Langford will bat. 2 out, nobody on. Langford 1 out of 3. The Mets, by the way, have their pitcher Franco scheduled to lead off in the bottom of this 8th inning. So they are looking at 1 inning from Franco, and he is giving the Mets exactly what they need. Try to go through these left-handed batters. Edmonds, Clark, they're gone. Bobby Valentine has done a fantastic job of managing this Mets team the last few years. This year in particular, and this postseason, he has come front and center. A potential free agent at the end of the year. The Mets were unwilling to sign him to a contract extension after making that known at the beginning of the season. At some point, they had to realize this guy was doing a fantastic job this year. But they've elected to wait until the end of the season when he will be a free agent, free to sign anywhere. Speculation is he might go out to L.A., manage the Dodgers, who have a managerial vacancy after firing Davey Johnson. Langford, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Valentine was the #1 pick by the Dodgers in '68. Close friends with Tony La Russa. time of the sorter, rather, as LaRussa watches from the dugout as Langford waits for a 2-2 pitch. Valentine brings in Franco. He struck out Edmonds. Clark grounded out. Langford has a full count. Do it again. It was definitely a risk on the part of the Mets, who have a winning combination with Valentine managing this club. 3 years ago, I think made the most of the talent he had. The last 2 seasons has put the Mets in the postseason, National League Championship Series play. The ownership of the Mets were willing to let this season come and go without a contract extension. Three balls, 2 strikes on Langford. Joe Torre gets so much credit for the job he does with the Yankees, and it is deserved. Bobby Valentine should get a lot of the credit for what's going on around here.
Yeah, if you win 3 out of 4 world championships, he'll get that credit.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, nobody on. And a 2-out walk. We asked Bobby Valentine about the character of this 2000 Mets team.
The team, if you will, has character, but because the individuals on this team are all made of the right stuff, right down to the last guy, whoever that is, and I don't think we have a last guy. I think that everyone has been an integral part of this team. They feel it, they know it, and they participate in it.
A flare base hit to right by Tatis. Langford will hold at second with that weapon out in right in Perez. And it's 2 on, 2 out with J.D. Drew coming up. Managing in his 13th season, 8 with the Rangers, 5th with the Mets. He and the Mets have finished behind the Braves in the National League East the last 2 years. The Mets losing in the National League Championship Series last year in 6 games. During the regular season, he has managed a team to 960 victories and an above 500 record in his career in the postseason. And last year was the first time that he managed in the postseason. As Paquette will come off the bench and try to deal a blow to these Mets here in the 8th inning with 2 on, 2 out.
Mark McGwire is going to be on the on-deck circle shortly. Right now you have Carlos Hernandez, but if Paquette gets on, you got to use McGwire, don't you?
Absolutely.
Right now he's not in the dugout.
McGwire no doubt in the tunnel getting loose. But it's up to Paquette to extend the top of the 8th inning. Ball 1 from Franco. Runners aboard with action for the Mets out in their bullpen. Paquette with a count of 1-0. Out in front, that change, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Bobby Valentine certainly knows that with the threat of McGwire, taking no chances. Because should McGwire hit in this inning, he will represent at least the tying run.
A 2-out walk to Langford, a base hit by Tatis, and a clunker to the third baseman Ventura. Makes the play. Out at first. And yet again, if McGwire was going to hit next, He is left standing in the on-deck circle. Bottom of the 8th in New York, 10-6 Mets.
The new economy won't be like the old new economy. The new economy will have new ideas. Ideas like profitability. With powerful e-business solutions, the new economy will be about how well you run your e-business, not just how well you promote it. SAP.
This is an ordinary cell phone. This is Nextel, and it's going to change the way you do business thanks to Direct Connect, its digital two-way radio feature. Frank? Not yet. It ensures instant contact. Bridget? Got it. Cost a fraction of cellular. Just passed. And it makes other cell phones...
Ready now.
Obsolete.
Direct Connect from Nextel. How business gets done.
Buy a Nextel Internet-ready phone starting at $99.99 and get an identical phone free.
Genuine Bear gel caps, the only gel cap that can help save your life. Bear, take it for pain, take it for life.
It takes years of practice to become a master, but this master
Here you go!
has a secret weapon.
Good stuff!
To become invincible, Jackie Chan, The Legend of Drunken Master, rated R, everywhere, Friday.
Running our own e-business suite, Oracle saved $1 billion in 1 year. How much will you save? Oracle. Software powers the internet.
The National League Championship Series on Fox is brought to you by SAP, the best-run e-businesses run by SAP.com. By Nextel, how business gets done. By MasterCard, there are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. And by Gillette Right Guard Stick and Clear Gel.
Well, back in New York at Shea Stadium, McGuire now back out in the dugout, as he does in St. Louis and did in the first 2 games of this National League Championship Series. Not playing in Game 1, pinch hitting in Game 2, but he received an intentional pass. McGuire will go up the tunnel to loosen up that right knee and the back, swing the bat. But you have to believe, as the Cardinals will make a pitching change here with Lenny Harris coming up, that had Paquette been able to reach, the tying run would have been at the plate, and it would have been McGuire. That was a big out that Franco got with help from Ventura in the top of this 8th.
Finally, this cold season, for all you stuffy nose snifflers, for all you scratchy sore throat sufferers, here's a great new way to break up your cold. Introducing 2 new flavors from Alka-Seltzer Plus, Orange Zest and Cherry Burst. The only cold medicine with effervescent power to quickly break up your worst cold symptoms. So you can get on with life. Alka-Seltzer Plus, Orange Zest and Cherry Burst. 2 great new ways to break up your cold.
Nice place.
Oh, thanks. Used to be a warehouse.
Killer office.
Yeah, it was actually a warehouse.
Cool place! What? Cool place! Oh, it was a warehouse!
UPS helps companies shed costly warehouse space by streamlining supply chains with new ideas that trim inventory and increase speed to market. UPS, moving at the speed of business.
There's a moment in every race.
In every game.
In every 60 minutes. When you can either quit, fold, or say to yourself, I can do this.
Call 1-888-414-TEAM now to order the All-Century Team on DVD.
I know what I saw.
We will find him.
The search begins. The X-Files season premiere, Sunday, November 5th on Fox.
Jason Christensen, the only left-hander for the Cardinals out of their bullpen, will toe the slab and work to the Mets here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Craig Paquette stays in the game. He's in right field after hitting for Drew. Here's Bubba Trammell batting for Lenny Harris. Carlos Hernandez missed that pitch, and it came back and hit the home plate umpire, Dale Scott, right in the mask. Ball 1.
Dale appears to be all right. It was a subtly very good move by Tony La Russa. Here's that foul tip one more time. Wow. Hernandez couldn't get the glove up in time. We'll tell you why it was a subtly good move. What Tony allowed was Matt Morris to go out to the mound. And knowing John Franco was going to be pinch hit for, he sent Lenny Harris up there, the left-handed batter. He was announced, and now he brought in the left-handed pitcher, Jason Christensen. So Lenny Harris is effectively out of the game, and Trammell's in the 9-hole.
A strike over the inside corner from Christensen. Trammell hitless in this postseason. Trammell starting the bottom of the 8th inning. 2-2. The Cardinals were in spring training needing a left-hander for their bullpen. And they found one with the Mets in Jesse Orozco. They traded Joe McEwing to get him. And Orozco only made a handful of appearances for the Cardinals before his elbow gave out. The pop fly is down the right field line, and Paquette just into the game makes the play, 1 out. So the Cardinals went out and got Christensen from the Pirates at the trading deadline, and we look ahead to tomorrow. Game 5 of this National League Championship Series. The Cardinals may be faced with elimination if they can't win tomorrow night here in New York. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, right here on Fox. Pitching matchup, Pat Henkin will make his first start since the end of September. 1-1 in his playoff experience in '93 with Toronto against Mike Hampton, who's 1-1 this season in the postseason. He won Game 1 back in St. Louis. That's tomorrow, 8 Eastern here on Fox. That is just foul. Left-hander, right-hander, doesn't matter. That pitch was neck high, and he got on top of it and jerked it foul.
Just foul. Talk about somebody who is doing everything right. And once again, he would not be in there were it not the fact that Derek Bell is not in there.
0-1. Kind of a running bunt, and Renteria makes a good play to get Perez. 2 out.
Bob Brenly had talked about that running bunt of Timo Perez in Game 1. And this is it right here. A running bunt. The one thing you have to be careful about is not to have a foot out of the batter's box and in fair territory when you make contact.
Perez so adept at that. That time, unfortunately for him, he hit it a little bit too hard, and a great play by Edgar Renteria. Generally, he tries to slap that ball past the third baseman. That time hit it a little bit too much toward the middle of the field.
Now Alfonso takes the ball up and away from Christensen. Edgardo, an RBI double back in the first inning. He's hitting 10 consecutive postseason games going back to last year's NLCS. Game 5, he was hit by a pitch in the 6th inning, which helped in a 2-run rally. Rally without a hit, by the way. 1 ball, 1 strike. Coming up after the game, your late local news. For those of you who want more post-game coverage, tune to your Fox Sports Net regional station. That's after this game, and this game is in the bottom of the 8th inning, 2 out, nobody on, and a 1-1 to Alfonso.
Can I be quirky for a second?
Absolutely.
If there's a man on first and less than 2 outs, and Timo Perez does that running bunt, and he's thrown out at first base, moving the runner along, does he get credit for a sacrifice?
Well, now you're getting into the area of official scoring. And with the consistency that you see on a day-by-day, night-by-night basis around the big league, my answer in long version is, I have no idea. I think it would be up to the official score, and I would imagine that that you could see the same play, and it would be scored officially probably 50% each way.
Remember that old ad, is it live or is it Memorex? Is it a swing or is it a bunt?
Bill Shannon, the official scorer in this game, and he's a good one. That's off the end of the bat. Still 2-2. Yes, we're still here. This is us. I'm Joe. That's Tim. Bob is down by the field. This is the bottom of the 8th. He's down there. Yeah. Bottom of the 8th inning, and it hadn't been a pretty game. It's been a fun game with the first inning and 4 consecutive doubles. After the Cardinals had scored 2 runs in the first inning on a home run by Edmonds. And I'm sure the story will be Darryl Kyle, the 3 days of rest. Say what you want about his stuff. I personally didn't think it would be an issue. I know you agree with that.
Yep.
Keith Olbermann thought it would be, and I'm sure the public is split on that. Maybe not split, but you could have differing opinions. But he just didn't have good stuff here tonight. 3 days rest, 2 days rest, 9 days rest. Doesn't matter. Alfonso pops it up. Vina puts it away, and this game goes to the 9th inning. Last chance for the Cardinals. Down 2-1. This is game 4. They trail the Mets tonight. They'll face Benitez. It's 10-6.
Looking for your home planet, Terry?
Very funny hours. Actually, I'm tracking a satellite in geosynchronous orbit 22,000 miles above us. It's sending a digital signal to my cool little RCA DirecTV dish. Wow. But you don't have to know all that. Just the RCA excerpts at Radio Shack.
Good.
Now for a limited time, buy an RCA DirecTV system for $99.99 and get free Radio Shack standard installation when you sign up for Total Choice Programming. The RCA Digital Entertainment Center, only at Radio Shack.
Introducing the new Insider Pizza from Pizza Hut. It's like a pizza inside a pizza. You get more cheese, more crust, and it's packed inside an already outrageous pizza. It's one thin crust piled with 6 cheeses, then sealed with another thin crust and even more cheese. Oh, yeah! So how do we get it all in? Hey, we're Pizza Hut. We put cheese in places you've never dreamed of. Just $9.99. $9.99? That's not inside. That's insane. The Insider Pizza from Pizza Hut. Another one of the best pizzas under one roof.
Oh, we're gonna go play some ball.
You gotta try this.
Radica's Play TV Baseball. Plug it into the TV and you're on the field.
Let's go. See if you can hit my curveball. Oh, yeah.
Pitch and bat against each other or play on your own. Play TV Baseball.
You can never hit my inside fastball. It's out of here.
Full-length day or night games. Home run derby. Pitch and bat like you're on the field.
Man, I never knew you could play this real on TV.
That's Radica. Play TV. The next generation of games. Batteries not included.
Is there an insurance company that believes the most important thing they cover is the risk you didn't think of? Without question, the St. Paul.
This fall, meet the faculty
Mr. Warren, what are you doing?
Not a whole lot, sir.
of Boston Public.
I have a situation. Look at my knockers.
Premieres Monday, October 23rd at 8/7 Central on Fox.
This view, courtesy of the Bud One airship, seen by millions on its ongoing Goodwill Tour. Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. We have had action aplenty down below. Defensive switch, Joe McEwing, we just talked about, traded from the Cardinals this spring to the Mets, is in the game in left field for Agbayani. And the other change is there is a big, hard-throwing right-hander, Benitez, on the mound.
And the Cardinals' strategy in this inning, until they get the tying run up there, if they do, is to make Benitez throw a strike. He can get wild.
Obviously, Hernandez is doing that. It's 2-0.
Benitez is so used to coming in save situations, and this is not one. And he has a tendency to rev it up only in save situations and not concentrate totally in situations during the season like this one. 4 runs up.
Look out, Tim. JoJo.
Nice play, Joe.
Off the hands. Congratulations. You've just been booed by 50,000 people at Shea Stadium.
He's only been married a month, too.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Carlos Hernandez. Armando Benitez. Right side. Foul ball. Zeal out of room. Polanco next. Cardinals 3 outs away from trailing in this best-of-7 series 3-1. With a pitching matchup that favors the Mets tomorrow night. 2-2. To the left of Bordick and a base hit. Carlos Hernandez is on to start the 9th inning. Let's go back to the first inning. After the Mets had seen Edmonds go deep for a 2-run shot. Double. Piazza double. Ventura a 2-run double after Zeal grounded out. Agbayani nearly got the ball out of here. Kyle didn't even want to watch. And it was a 5-double first inning. Postseason record for these Mets. Eli Marrero will come off the bench and run for Carlos Hernandez. Marrero runs well. Don't forget about the presence of Mark McGwire in the dugout. Marrero off and running. And he takes second base uncontested.
Why not? That takes the force away at second. Should there be only one play. A ball hit by Polanco to the right of the shortstop, for instance.
2-0. By the way, no stolen base for Marrero. But it's 2-0 on Polanco. As it was with Hernandez, you would think he's got to take a strike.
Absolutely.
Do the Cardinals have one more burst in them here in Game 4? That is ball 3.
He might take 2 now. The 3-0 pitch, and then if Benitez throws a strike, the 3-1 pitch.
The first 2 are on. Armando Benitez in his postseason past. 96 Division Series, Albert Bell. 96 ALCS, Game 1, Derek Jeter, Jeffrey Mayer. 1997 ALCS, Game 6, Tony Fernandez. And the Division Series, Game 2, JT Snow. Off the bench, pinch hit, game-tying 3-run home run, a game the Mets won in the 10th, 5-4. Now he's got 2 on, nobody out, Vina up. 7 postseason home runs allowed by Benitez. Tony La Russa, though, Tim, is in that same spot where he's got his big bats coming up.
Right.
Thinking about Mark McGwire over on the dugout bench.
Yeah, first things first, though. Vina probably taking here. He'll take a strike.
And he gets 1, 0-1.
Mets have to be alive for a bunt by Vina. Not a bunt to sacrifice, but a bunt for a base hit. Benitez is not a good fielding pitcher. Vina likes to take it with him, bunting to second base if he should choose.
The opposite way, Bordick in the hole. They get the out at second. It's first and third, one away.
What a play by Alfonso. All the Mets wanted was one out. And look how they got it. Hit fairly well to the right of Bordick, but Bordick's throw is bad. Alfonso ended up touching the bag with his right heel. Look at this play. The right heel. Boy, that's some play by Alfonso.
Now first and third, one out. Renteria takes strike one over the inside corner. A hit, a walk, the force out at second. Marrero, the runner at third, pinch running. Pena runs the bases, on in the force out. Renteria's at the plate with Edmonds next. Pena's going to take second as Renteria is in the hole 0-2. And it's second and third, one out. And no stolen base there either for Pena. Coming up after the game, the late local news, except on the West Coast. More post-game coverage. Get into your local Fox Sports Net regional cable channel. McGuire lurking in the dugout. Renteria back into the box with an 0-2 count. One out, second and third for St. Louis in the ninth. And again, Renteria loses his bat.
Crowd here booing Edgar. He lost his bat twice. At least he made contact this time. That gives you an idea of how tough that slider is from Benitez on right-handed batters. They have to protect against that fastball, a sizzling fastball inside, and then the slider low and away.
Another one in the category of it's never easy.
No. Cardinals hoping for one more base runner, where one swing of the bat could tie it.
10-6 Mets, 0-2 to Renteria. 2 out.
As we said, Benitez, big and strong, can be terrifying to right-handed batters. Fastball in for a strike. One bat throw, two bat throws. That's that BAT.
That's the second out. Edmonds at the plate. Second and third, 2 out. Edmonds, strike one. Edmonds faced Benitez in game 2 in the ninth inning and drew a 2-out walk. Twice already in this game, McGuire has been one more base runner away from walking to the plate, representing the tying run. Edmonds, strike 2. And like in game 1, this game could come and go with all of these changes, and McGuire staying on the bench. To Edmonds. 98. Two are on for St. Louis with nobody out. 2 on with 2 out. Two and 2. Second and third, 2 out, 2-2 pitch. That's foul. On deck, Will Clark.
Don't think Tony would pinch hit Mark McGwire for Will Clark. A very hot hitter in the second half. Should Edmonds reach, but perhaps for Langford. Perhaps.
Second and third, 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Edmonds. From 0-2 to 3-2. One more out of the strike zone, and Tony La Russa will be faced with the decision you just talked about. Do I send Clark up or McGwire up, who would represent the tying run? Three balls, 2 strikes on Edmonds. Second and third, 2 out, 10-6 Mets, 9th inning. In the air to right, fittingly it's Perez. Game 4 to the Mets. 10-6 the final. So many stars up and down this Mets lineup. One guy who could get overlooked, but should not, is Glendon Rush. Rush gets the victory. The Mets get the victory, and they lead this series 3-1. Mike Piazza a home run in this game. 5 doubles in the first inning, 6 total in the first 2. And the Mets have a chance tomorrow night here on Fox behind Mike Hampton with a win to advance to the World Series. The Cardinals jumped out in front 2-0 after a half inning. But from that point on, all Mets, 4 consecutive doubles to start the bottom of the first for New York. 5 doubles in the first, a playoff record. 6 doubles in the first 2 innings. And then the Mets played keep away. For Tim McCarver, Bob Brentley, Keith Olbermann, and Steve Lyons, I'm Joe Buck. So long from New York. Final score, Mets 10, St. Louis 6. Except for those of you on the West Coast, stay tuned to Fox for your late local news. If you want more coverage on tonight's game, tune to your local Fox Sports Net regional cable outlet for more post-game coverage. A little bit of everything tonight. In the end, the starters were gone early. A battle of the bullpens. Rush gets the win for the Mets, and the Mets are 1 win away from the 2000 World Series. See you tomorrow night.
This has been a presentation of Fox Sports, the exclusive home to the Major League Baseball All-Star Game, the Division Series, the ALCS, the NLCS, and the World Series, beginning 2001. Looking for a great